This is hot. I. It's still Sunday. I got Deborah's wicked hot chicken chili. I mean, it's like physically hot. I mean, it's not real spicy, but the bowl is hot. It finally cooled off enough where I could pick up the bowl and eat some. It's delicious. Um, I don't. Oh, yeah. There's two people in here. That's probably me and somebody else. I don't know. Oh no, that's two other people. I think I'm huge. um, hey Heather. Heather's freaking nice, man. She comes to see me, even if it's just me and her in here. Uh, I'm just here to have fun. Uh, Tomorrow is Monday, but it's not Monday yet. I mean, I'm not gonna get crazy or anything because I got to work tomorrow. But I like hanging out with you guys. So whoever wants to come in, I mean, if it's just me and Heather again, right on, sissy. It's good to see you. How you doing? Was you just in Peter's live, Heather? I thought I saw you in there. I can't remember. There's so many. There was a bunch. Peter is popular. I don't know. That sounds wrong in a way. I'm glad my name wasn't Peter. Oh, you weren't in there? Okay. Oh, is it? Is it President's Day? I'm not a banker or a government worker, so I wouldn't know. I got to work tomorrow. It's okay. I just work at home, but it's pretty easy work, really. It just takes up time. I wish I could spend all of my time improving things on the tiny farm, but I got to work to make money, so I have money to buy materials to improve things on the tiny farm. So that's just how it goes. You're not subscribed to Old Man King? He lives in our barn. I don't know. Different strokes for different folks. If you like it, it doesn't matter. He's a good guy. I like him. We invited him to come stay with us while he's getting resituated here in Arkansas. Me and him rode to hey Belt Loop. Uh, Me and him rode to Fort Smith today, almost to Fort Smith, because I went yesterday and like an idiot, I left my cell phone in the buggy in the shopping cart. After I put up the groceries, I just pushed the buggy aside because I was so tired. And all the way home, I was thinking, uh, do I need to look at my cell phone? No, the heck with it. I'm too tired. Deborah might ask me to pick up something else. So I didn't look at the cell phone. Went all the way home only to find out that I don't have my cell phone. I must have left it in the buggy. The cool thing is people are so honest around here that, it got turned in and we just called them and said, hey, did somebody turn in a cell phone? Yeah, so I went and got it. And Peter rode with me out there today, and he picked up a couple things at Walmart. That was a nice ride. It was relaxing. You know, when guys ride together, they don't talk the whole time. They just, maybe we'll talk a little, and then we will just watch the scenery, and it's so cool. I love that about some guys that I won't hang around with will be a chatty Cathy the whole trip. And I'm like, dude, just turn on talk radio or something, or some music or something. Let's look at the scenery. I don't want to talk the whole way. I'm a dude. Oh, I'm sorry. Sup, Bell Loop? Sup, cuz? Sup, Heather? Bell Loop says. There's so many people in here, it's hard to keep up with the chat. I can eat my soup. So it's just Sunday, and me and Peter rode to Walmart. It's an hour and a half each way, so it's a 3 hour drive. And we had to get back before Peter's live. We we cut it a little close, but Peter made his live. But man, what a relaxing ride. When you're riding with somebody that, doesn't talk your head off. We had conversation and stuff, but man, I can't stand somebody who's going to talk the whole freaking trip because I just like to kind of zone out. I mean, paying attention to my driving, but enjoying the scenery and just contemplating life and just enjoying the scenery and being grateful. I think being grateful is huge. Not that I'm preaching to anybody, but I just know that, you guys can relate. Man, it's so pretty here. And every time I drive somewhere, especially when the weather's pretty like it was today, it just reinforces the fact how lucky we are to be here. So, yeah, that was a nice trip. It was nice to hang out with Peter today, just riding. What doesn't surprise you? Wait, it's all good. What doesn't surprise you? So, no, you ain't got to type it. I'll figure it out. No, I don't. I don't know why I think I'll figure it out. Um, no, this is good. I know. I can guess why that doesn't surprise you because we're like-minded. Man, this chicken. She made like a chicken cornbread chili concoction. It's so good. It's not spicy hot. It's temperature hot. I almost couldn't eat it for like 10 minutes. I had to let it cool down before I could pick up this. It's just like a plastic bowl. I like zoning out my. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it drives me crazy. Nothing against women, but if two women are in the car, you're not going to get any quiet. Deborah and my mother and stepmother-in-law, they will just talk the whole trip, and me and my father-in-law be in the front seats. Yeah, because the women got to sit in the back. I don't know. It's just how it ended up. Uh, we'll be in the front seat, just zoning out on the scenery. Get a couple of guys. We ain't got to talk. We just gonna enjoy the scenery and we'll have the best time together. We might say 2 or 3 words the whole trip, but we get it. The women in but meanwhile are in the back seat. And I love the sound of women's voices talking that way. I can go to sleep to that. I mean, it's what women do, and it's so comforting to hear that going on. But at the same time, I'm comforted by the fact that my father-in-law is not a blabbermouth, and I'm going to talk my head off so that we can just enjoy the scenery. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's a difference. I just tell Tammy, yep, True. Yeah. Uh, dude, you get it. I'll catch Deborah. I catch her frequently, and I love her. She's the love of my life. She'll be saying something, and then she'll just trail off into something else, and I'm like thinking in my head, well, you didn't finish telling me the first thing you started telling me. Now you're starting something else, and and so I'll catch her doing that, and she knows this, and I'll say, and you wonder why I don't listen to you. Well, you started with one thing and you didn't finish it. I'm supposed to hang on your every word, but you're not going to finish us. You're not going to finish the one. You're not going to finish what you were talking about. She does that too. And I love her. I love her, but she knows now that she does that. And it's like I'm trying to be attentive, but you can't you can't you can't just start with something, not finish it, and then move on to something else and expect me to keep listening very attentively. I'm just saying women do that. Not all women. I'm not not doing a blanket judgment on anybody. All right. Anyhow, Peter just finished his live, and I was going to eat this really good soup and just say hi to guys. Anybody want to come up? I'll put a link up. There's only 3 people in here, so not a big deal. We do it all the time. Uh, I like to talk. I mean, I admit it. When I get going, sometimes I'm an idiot. Um, but yeah, and I love Deborah. She's my sweetheart. Um, but I mean, we're getting older together, so we're comfortable with each other. It's our superpower, confusing men. It doesn't confuse me though. I am confused by it, but it doesn't confuse me. I'm like, wait a minute. You started out talking about this one thing. I thought you were going to make a point. And then she's just on to another thing before she made a point. Oh, she will hit me. She will hit me if she sees this. Nah, she won't. She knows. Uh, she, you never listen to me. Well, when I do listen to you, uh, I spend a lot of effort, and we talk about 2 or 3 things before you made a point about the first thing. I'm just saying, I'm being honest here. Hey, back to good. So, sorry, this is good. Um, I love women, and I'm not blanketing judgment on all women, but my sweet Deborah, she knows how I feel about it. And I have justified it to her, I think, to some degree, because she never, she doesn't really, she doesn't really get upset with me for not listening to her um, anymore. She used to, maybe. I don't know. But I made my point. I mean, and she knows it's true because she does it all the time. It's almost like she's thinking out loud, and because she's trying to solve for her own or come to her own conclusions, she's not really worried about my input. She's just thinking out loud and saying stuff. But then if I don't if she turns to me and said, "Do you understand that?" and I go, "Oh, I wasn't listening." Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say, "Yes, honey," like 29 said. Uh, but if she catches me not listening, uh, I got to be honest and tell, no, I wasn't listening because you moved on to several different points that you were apparently going to make about this or that or the other without finishing your first point. I don't know if it's a guy girl thing, but I've got to, I like to make short, concise little points and move on to the next point or whatever. A guy tells another guy, "Hey, that's Purdy." Yep. Done. I mean, you know, but a woman has to say, I don't know if I can do this right. A woman might say, "Well, I spoke to Rhonda today, and she told me something very interesting." And I'm like, "Yeah, she's setting herself up to make a point." Uh, but then I decided that I didn't want to hear that today, and I was gonna, I don't know, just branch off onto something else. I was like, "Wait a minute, I thought you were gonna make a point about Rhonda." I don't know. Guys get it. I think women do that a lot. Even I do it. I mean, I'm a little bit of a woman. Not, not in a confused way. So, what's up, Rachel? Are you going to come here and teach me how to do solar? I already know a little bit. I mean, I got a solar well pump. I want to get more of them AGM batteries. I heard they're getting better in price for some reason while everything else is getting more expensive. I want a huge battery bank, and I want to get some secondhand solar panels that you can get cheap, and I want to build my own solar array while they're still reasonable. I'm thinking. And we can put you a pad for your RV out here. I mean, we've got plenty of room. You just get some shale or something. I heard that the shale is cheaper than gravel and it'll work just as good. Actually, it dries out a lot faster. Well, I don't know. I want to do that off grid thing. I don't like being on any government tit. This means quotes, by the way, for you ignorant peoples. Not that you're ignorant, I'm just being a jerk. We found it's just as affordable to buy an all-in-one. Oh yeah, because you guys have those. Yeah, that's a good point. Them all-in-one units, that big charging station you got. I like that. You got the Blue Eddy? I think you got the Blue Eddy. I remember seeing the video of that. And that's just one big unit. How many watts does that one big unit put out, or do you have two or more? Mukbang. Oh, sorry. Looking up in the chat. I'm telling you, just say you're right. We paid $4K for our entire. Wow, really? A small backup one? Yeah, just to have yeah, in case that one goes out. So the EP 500. So is that for 500 watts? Can you run a can you run an AC like a mini split or something with that? I mean, you ain't got to type all this in. I'm just telling you the questions I would have. I totally want to do that, man. For 4 grand. I mean, so do you run? You probably just run like one of those portable washing machines with it. I mean, if you're not on the grid and you don't have a monthly bill, You do your internet through your cell hotspot? $2,000. 5120 WH. I don't know what that is. You don't use AC. Yeah, I think we could actually get by without AC if we had the right structure. I mean, it would be hot, but if you had like a fan and a little bit of coolness to the air that you could suck in and blow, that would, I mean, I could get by without it. We use a water evap cell hotspot. I mean, that would work for me. I could use that because I just remote into a computer and work on it remotely. So all it has to do is record my keystrokes basically over the hotspot. Oh, watt hours. Yeah, all right, I remember that now. So 5120 watt hours. It's windy here, so just open all the windows and everyone has their own fans. Yeah. Oh, I've gotten so accustomed to listening to a hum. I out of gum. Um, I, I, it's almost like I need a hum, but I could even learn to just sleep with the dogs barking. The roosters sometimes crow all night. Once I'm asleep, I'm asleep. I'm kind of a light sleeper, but 2,000 watt inverter. Oh, I'm so doing it. Deborah's not really on board, but I just want to get off of everything that's a monthly bill. I'm so sick of it. That's what keeps us freaking riding the treadmill. Those monthly bills. We own our own land here. It's basically it's on grid, but it could be off grid. I mean, we could just have the power shut off, and we've got well water. I like the white noise. Yeah, I like something that just drowned out all the little noises so I don't keep getting woke up. I've had to just tell myself because the dogs will bark at stuff all night long, and I'm always worried that something's going to attack the livestock. But we've got good fencing and we got good dogs inside the fencing. I just don't need to hear it so I can sleep. So I like stuff that drowns out the sound from outside so I can sleep because I'm a light sleeper. A white noise. I just play white noise from the internet from my phone or rain. I don't like thunder in the rain. I like it to just be, yeah, like white noise. They got channels that also play fan noise. I like fan noise and I like the air to be moving around. I don't like stale air. Yeah, Back to Good says, yes, we haven't had an electric bill in 3 years. Can I show that? Yeah. That's what I want. I don't want. Why are we paying these people? I mean, we paid for their infrastructure over and over, and they're just charging you based on a market value. I think we pay too much. I'm sick of it. Hey, Jason. Oh, yeah, you're out of gum. Right on. Yeah, Jason. I mean, I ain't seen you in a while. At least not that I recall. Good to see you, brother. Man, I want to do the solar thing. Deborah's not on board with being off grid, but I am. You can make it work. Then you figure out more stuff. Why are we on? Why are we giving these corporations our money for giving us stuff that should be free? I miss you too, Gary. He wrote, I miss you already in the chat. I don't know what that's about. Oh, and yes, let me just click. Oh, and yes, we do have a washing machine, a smaller and energy efficient one, and no dryer. Just hang, yeah, we hang our clothes here already. We've got a dryer, but I haven't hooked it up because we ain't got anywhere to have it out of the elements, except in our barn, and our barn's already crowded. We got another older barn. If you do come here, Rachel, we got another older barn in that field where we think you could park your RV, where it would get most sun. Uh, it's not completely weather tight, but it's got a good roof on it. Blue Eddy AC300 is super sweet and it is expandable. I had three of the Jackeries. I had a 2,000 watt, a 500 watt. No, the two Jackeries, and then some other off-brand thing that was like a 500 watt, two 500, and that 2,000 watt I could run my electric chainsaw off of that dude. And I had solar panels for them. Of course, you can plug them up to charge them. Yeah. Well, we're hoping to sell our Florida house soon. It's supposed to close like the end of the month, early next month. And I really want to look at staying here and getting off grid, or I'll sell this. In addition to the money we get from the Florida house, we could move further up into the Ozarks. I figured this would be our only chance to do that, so we're trying to keep our options open. Right on. I had to scroll back up. Right on, Jason. I had to scroll back up to see what's your name again. I remember you, the coffee guy. Yeah. Um, I'm not, I mean, this is just our old channel name. And I come on here to do live because Deborah doesn't want me dorking with our family friendly channel. Buy one bet back to good says, wait, I'll just put it on the screen. How to get it. Jason's a good dude. Man, yeah, it's good to see you, man. I should put the link up, although I'm not going to stay on here very long. Let me see if I can do that. Copy. I'm just going to put it in the chat. There's not a lot of people in here, and then that way, can I do it here? I think I can do it here. Yeah. In case anybody wants to just chat, you can come in and we'll just chat on here. 15 panels, but only using 13. Buy one battery to start, and maybe every year, but another battery to expand it. Yeah, you got to get the same amp size batteries or something. I understand. And you generally hook them in parallel. I've got two 12-volt batteries hooked in series because I got a 24 volt well pump. But I think I need to get at least one or two more because it doesn't, a lot of times the battery power doesn't work. I think I've just got like minimum battery power. Hubby, we have 15 panels, but only using 13. Hubby goes to Tucson. You'll be in our thoughts and prayers there, Rachel. Um, Hopefully, it sounds like it's probably pretty standard, simple stuff, right? So, Right on. Keep us in mind. I mean, I would love to learn from you guys, and I mean, it's not going to cost us anything to have you here. I mean, even if it did cost us something to have you here, you'd be welcome. Um, we're trying to do what we can to help people. We're not rich, but we got the land. So, and we got room for people who just want to, come out here and look for land or whatever. I can't too many peeps around and I'm cooking dinner, so I can't go outside right now. Oh, you would have to be outside to get a connection. Yes, series or parallel. Can't remember which is ATM. I don't know what you mean by ATM, but that's okay. I don't know what you're answering. Yes, I think so. Um, but man, I would love to see your setup. There's plenty of places around here, but you're welcome to stay here. No big deal. We got room. Might have to figure out what we do for a pad, but we can figure that out. The remaining part of our house slab that's still open isn't big enough, I don't think. And plus, you'd be right next to us, and we don't want to crowd each other. You don't need to haul water. We've got a solar well pump. We just run a. We just run a. We'll make a switch on the. We just run cheap plastic black pipe that all the farmers use around here. Put a T on that with a switch, and when you need to fill up your tank, we'll just turn on the well pump, switch it over there, and it'll use solar to fill it up. Just haul water to fill RV. We use IBC. Yeah, we just fill up your IBC totes with the solar well pump. I've got tons of the black plastic cheap pipe stuff that we use to run. We can use it to run water all around here. I've got a couple of IBC totes that I'm not even using yet. I want to put up. I want to put those up as a gravity feed, water alternative into this little shed house here and everywhere else we need it, so that if the grid's down, we still have water. What is ATM? I don't know what that is. That's a automated teller machine. I don't know what ATM is. Yeah, 37 feet. Our slab uh, is only, yeah. Well, we wouldn't want to be here right next to you. If your camper was on our slab, it would be in between our shed to house and our son's little shed. And yeah, that's a little close for comfort. You'll probably want your privacy, and that we do too. Um, I mean, you're all self-contained, so we could just put you out there in that side field, and that's where you'll get the most sun anyway. So, and then we just run you water. Yeah, that solar well pump was expensive. We got it from RPS, Remote Power Systems, RPS. It was expensive. Well, it was $1,700 for the pump and all the wiring, and four 100-watt solar panels. So it's 400-watt system, and the hardware to put it on a post. And then I got a post from Sullivan, one of our good neighbors, just a big old oak post, and put it in the ground with Quikrete, and it's holding those solar panels. And then the two AGM batteries, just for two of them, was $800. But I've heard they've gone down. Yeah, we got two IBC totes as well. Yeah, I want to do that. I have to put my IBC totes up pretty high on the highest part of our property. We've got other neighbors here that are doing off grid, and they actually built a water tower, but they found out that that dude freezes and then they don't have water. So there's an interesting problem to solve. I'm glad you don't want to be up our butts and we don't want to be up yours. Well, we got almost 4 acres here. We should be able to spread out, especially since you're self contained. Oh, AT, I knew that at the moment. You people in your acronyms. Yeah. These are really nice people. We just met them through other friends. I don't know how long they've been here, but I'm thinking not very long. And they're doing all off grid too. So I love that idea. I don't want to pay monthly bills. You just like saying acronym. There's a huge water tower between us and the first little town, but they're charging people for that. They ran county water. We didn't even hook up to it. We've got two open wells. That's good enough. And there's a seasonal creek that goes through about halfway of the property. But I'm not drinking out of that because it goes through cow fields. But I mean, there's a part near the front of our property where we could uh, dig out a pond that gets supplied from that creek and have fish in there, maybe. Hey, how'd it go? Work has begun interfering with my YouTube time. That's funny, Bello. Yeah, me too. Work has began interfering with my trying to get off grid. You ready to come up, dude?
What's up, Brett? How you doing, man?
Hey, man, good to see you. This is the
So
first
right
time
now,
I've
I'm in
seen
the
you
ball
without a
with
cap.
glasses on.
First time I've seen you without a cap.
Right. Well, I started shaving my head too back in like the end of August, and I've probably not really seen you much since then. We got really busy at work, but yeah, now you've never seen me with glasses on. I just got these new glasses, and they wanted me to wear them a bit more often because some of the power on them was kind of funny. So I'm wearing them for my eyes to get used to them. We can make sure they got the prescription right in them. Then I'll go back to wearing contacts all the time again.
Oh, I would hate wearing contacts.
I love contacts. I've been wearing them since I was 16. It was the first thing I bought
I'd
with my
ha-
first paycheck.
I'd have to have hard contacts because I got keratoconus. I
Yep.
don't know if you know what that is, but you have to have hard contacts to make your pupils not so make them more regular shape. The way I understand it, my pupils are extra pointy, and so I can't get a prescription that because my vision is always being different. So I'm just dealing with it. I don't want to put hard contacts in my eyes.
And I got to get the lighting fixed in this room. This new camera that I've got, the lighting's messing with it, so it makes me look like really, really, really extra red. Like I'm kind of red anyway, but I'm like I look really flushed, don't I? Almost the color of
Yeah,
my shirt. It look.
yeah,
Here's what's funny. It looks like I'm sunburnt, but the skin is the same color. It's the way the lighting's hitting this and the shading.
yeah,
Ain't that weird?
yeah. Yeah, I bet you it's just reflecting off of your shirt.
Problem. This happened with a blue shirt on. It's just the way this lighting in the camera is picking up the hues and saturations weird.
Huh.
That's what
So
you
are you
get for getting
still
like a
doing
nicer camera.
are you still planning on doing like the camping going around and stuff?
I, I don't know. Right now, I've kind of put that part on hold, and that's why I've got this other channel for it. Right now, I'm not doing any content on this channel. I might do some stuff later, but we just had so many things come up that the camping was kind of it had to be put on hold,
Yeah,
and
sure.
it felt kind of weird doing a channel about coffee and coffee while you're camping when I couldn't really go camping and
Yeah,
didn't know when I might be able to get back into it. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I put it all on hold. I still have the channel; it's still there. Still surprisingly has every now and then still picks up some subscribers. It's got like 555 or 56, so it hadn't lost anybody. But I've not done anything active on it since probably almost a year now. Since like I think my last upload was probably around March or so last year.
yeah. Yeah, we're the same way. I mean, we really slowed down on any YouTube effort, just because, I mean, I'm back to work and I'm having to, I mean, if I'm gonna do the work for the money, I mean, we're not gonna spend all of our free time doing YouTube. What little free time we have is going into trying to get things manageable here so that we can move to the next step, you know?
Yep. Now you were talking about possibly moving to the Ozarks or further
Yeah.
into.
If the opportunity presents itself, we're not going to kill ourselves over trying to, you know, you get so sick of moving. Who
Yeah.
wants to move? But we just, you know, we had the house fire just a couple years ago, so we still haven't accumulated. Man, we're never going to get back to where we were, but we don't have a ton of stuff, is the point. So it would
Well,
be pretty easy for us to move. You know, either that or we need to just continue setting up camp here more.
I understand the moving thing. My wife and I've been married for 21 years and we've moved like 14 times.
Ugh,
Yeah. I mean, it's not all been big moves. A lot of times it's been like within the same city or like next door. We did move internationally back and forth. So that was a thing. That's not
international.
a move I ever want to do again. Moving internationally is a total pain in the butt.
Oh, I could imagine.
Because I mean, really, what it comes down to, except for some of the things that are more like sentimental, things that were given to us for our wedding, like our silverware, stuff like that that we really liked. That stuff we held on to. But really, a lot of it, it was like sell everything and rebuy new.
Yeah, that I I wish I would have thought of doing that because yeah,
And I tell you that, I mean, that sounds all good and well, but then when you get, especially when you're going to another country, it's different here because you can still get a lot of things very similar. Moving to another country, it was so hard to get things the way we had it before, the same type of stuff, because it didn't either exist over there or worked totally different. But yeah, so that was interesting. And then when it was time to move back over here, because I mean, we moved to England. My wife's from England. So when we moved back over here, a lot of our
holy,
electronic, yeah, yeah, pretty much. The funny thing is, my mom she still is really big into ancestry, and she actually traced our roots back to not far from where my wife is actually from.
wow, yeah, my mom did that.
That's all she does now. She's 80 years old. She's been retired since shortly after I graduated from high school, which has been a long time ago, and she spends all her time doing ancestry. That woman's like an ancestry pro.
Yeah, my mom does that too. It's just too much for me to take in. In general, it's still what I know. So, but I'm not going to get into all the details. Not yet. When I'm retired, maybe I'll look at it.
Exactly. Oh, my mom's been like actually like printing out books. Like she's been making books for like all the kids and the grandkids and like printing them out with like all these details and everything in it. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. When I retire, like you said, when I retire, I'll take time to look at the book.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, mom, I don't read.
Yeah, that sounds like what I would tell my mom. Yeah, time to move. Best time to move before any new accumulation happens. I got more. You remember that George Carlin stuff sketch? In oh my god, I need more stuff. And then you buy a bigger house so you can fit more stuff, and then you fill up that house, and then I need a bigger house so I can get more stuff. And then you go on vacation and you pack a smaller version of all your stuff to go somewhere else with a smaller version of your stuff.
Most of the George Carlin stuff I remember is the stuff I can't say
Yeah,
live.
the seven dirty words.
It's like the difference between somebody who's insane and a crazy person. Yeah, I'm not saying that one.
I don't remember it.
You have to look it up.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Let's just say it involves a Bugs Bunny outfit.
Oh, I like that saying, adventures. If it doesn't fit on my motorcycle, I don't need it. Right on.
Yep, there you go. Hey, Kenny. Kenny and Debbie.
Yeah, I just saw them on Peter's live tonight and subbed to them, and I guess they subbed me back, and that's why they're here.
Well, I
But that
recently subbed
good
them on this
channel.
channel, and when I started looking at the stuff, I was like, "Oh yeah, I was subbed to them. I'm still subbed to them on my other channel." I've been on some of their lives where they were like, I think they were in. It might have been like Arizona, and this was like a while back, like a year ago or so. I can't remember where they were at. There was one part where they were at one of the famous dams. I don't think it was the Hoover Dam, but it might have been. And that was really cool because he was doing a live and like showing all this stuff and kind of going different areas. And they've got some good stuff. Pretty fun channel.
Some English people have sexy accents. No, they don't. That's just my opinion. I'm not into the English accent thing.
You know, the funniest thing to
I
me,
think mostly women like it. I don't care about it.
well, the funniest thing to me when I lived there was I kept trying to figure out why does everybody call me Paul? And I kept crying like my name is Jason, it's not Paul. And they're like, all right, Paul, all right is the way they say hey. Like instead of like, hey, how
Yeah.
you doing? I'm like, all right.
All right
Like
then. Yeah.
they were saying pal.
Oh,
But the
hey,
way they were saying it,
Bao,
it
the way
sounded
it
like
sounds.
Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Hey, Paul, Paul. Yeah, I can see
All
that.
right, Paul.
All right then.
And then the area that we lived in England, they've got some weird slang. England's one of those places like every 15 miles they have different slang. Like every
Yeah.
village has its own slang terms. And I'm in town center one day, and this is like right after we moved, and some guy looks at me and goes, all right, cock. And I'm
Uh,
like, what
Gawk.
did you just call me?
Where'd you
Like,
go?
dude, where I'm from, that's fighting words.
Yeah.
They had to explain to me it's actually a friendly greeting in that area of the country.
Sure.
And I'm like, okay.
My husband, grandma sent us a bunch of ancestry books, etc., and I was just showing all that to the kids yesterday. Yeah, I mean, my mom's got it all nailed, and she's documented it all. I just couldn't sit down and explain it to you. I know we've got a lot of German and we got a lot of Irish. I mean, that's the gist of it. Some Italian.
When
My
some of the stuff they're
my
doing nowadays,
one
sorry, go ahead.
weird thing that you haven't that you don't really hear a lot happening is on my dad's side, my Irish grandfather, my dad's dad, was married to an Italian. And back in them days, Italians and
Yeah.
Irish didn't mix. So she got disowned by her family. She's
Wow.
got a cool name too. It's what is it? Faye Louise Justice. And her Italian name was Justino, but yeah, Faye Louise, what a cool name.
all the ancestry stuff nowadays too, it's kind of really picked up with all the DNA testing that they're doing. And I'm not saying I agree with it. Like I've got a lot of issues. I mean, Brett, you and I are both techie people, and we understand data and privacy and think about that stuff differently than a lot of other people do. Right. And there's a lot of hoopla going on right now about, even though like Ancestry says, they do certain things and store certain things, that DNA data is not governed under HIPAA. So they don't have to do anything. They can sell that data. They can do whatever they want to with that data.
Well, I'm with you, man. That's crazy. What's going on?
Yeah.
Who knows what AI is going to do with that?
Oh,
You
all
know,
kinds of crazy stuff.
it's stuff.
But
I've been warning about this forever to my family and stuff that, I got into programming. It's not that technical. People think, oh, programming. No, it's just stupid stuff. But the day that programmers, people stop writing programs and then the programs write their own programs, well, that's when we've lost control. And it's already here. That's AI. We've lost control.
Skynet, baby.
Yep. I do not trust it at all.
Nope.
Well, you're going to have the machine write its own software. That sounds smart.
Well, at least
Arizona, maybe. What's this about?
it'll keep me employed. They keep doing that mess.
Oh, the Adventures is talking about when you were talking about him earlier, I think. I got to get to the bottom here. There's only a few people in here. I love it. Yeah, Arizona's pretty. Not sure if we are going to sell our 10 acres in Arizona or keep it. Man, if you can keep it, keep it. If you'd rather have the cash flow, sell it. I mean, I don't know. If I could keep it, I'd keep it. That's all I'm saying. But I'm in no position to keep anything right now. Yeah, kids in Arizona. I love Arizona, man. Especially northern Arizona. It's freaking pretty. I don't know where the north of Douglas is. What I do?
That's one place I've never been, but do plan on going and checking out at some point in time. Arizona.
Oh man, it's pretty.
My
There's
uncle
like a
actually
mountain, like in the middle of Arizona. I don't remember because I just kind of hitchhiked through there. But man, I stayed a couple days because it was so pretty.
my uncle lives in Carefree, Arizona. Is the name of it? They more or less said like the entire town or city or whatever it is more or less like a retirement area.
Yeah, I remember there's an old mining town about the middle of Arizona. It's kind of like, this is just what I remember. Called Jerome, and it's on this freaking sharp cliff side, and right where Jerome happens is like a dividing line of Arizona. You've got south, it's all desert, and everything Jerome and north is all like pine trees and mountainous. And I couldn't believe it because I never seen the north side of Arizona until then. I went through Jerome. I was just hitchhiking through there. And man, that town alone is a trip because it's a mining community on a cliff, basically. And then the northern part of Arizona is just beautiful. Back to good, agreed. I don't know to what, but yeah. Oh, this chat's moving too fast. I can't keep up with it. Always wanted to say that. How to spot a sentient robot. Cool. Yeah, house in Phoenix. Screw the cities though. But Arizona is pretty. I don't know what Phoenix was like. I don't remember. I was only passing through hitchhiking. Mesa, you left Mesa in 89 and went to Las Vegas. I was born in La Mesa, California. Not anything to brag about these days, but I left when I was young. Kids grew up in Phoenix, and hubby too. I grew up near Chicago. I've been to Chicago. I went there for a trade show once for a software company. Those streets are tight in Chicago.
Are they?
Yeah, because they was built back in what, the 1800s or something for horse and buggies or something, and now they got cars driving through them with big side view mirrors. I was always worried I was gonna smack side view mirrors with someone because the streets are narrow in the downtown
Well,
area.
especially nowadays. Think
Yeah,
about going now with all the oversized trucks that everybody's buying and driving all over the
yeah,
place.
everything's extra wide and bigger. Yeah, oh, I gotta have it. I just want
So
one of those little he-bob freaking three-wheeler taxis that they got in India. I don't care, man. I'll put a tuk-tuk. I'll put that
yeah,
thing around the mountains here. Get out of the way.
I had to recently purchase a new vehicle. I had to get my other one was pretty much on its last leg, and I had to go get something else. And I was literally looking at dimensions because I'm like, whatever I get has to fit in the garage. Like I'm a garage person now. Like, I can't live without a garage. I think I could live without a house as long as I have a garage.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like I
Just
love my
somewhere where
garage.
your stuff will
Can't
be
do without
taken
it.
care of and keep your tools. I love my barn. Uh, all my vehicles are outside. I could care less about as long as they hold out rain when they need to and they don't fall apart. I don't care about taking care of a vehicle. It's just a thing. I don't need a garage for that. I need a place to keep tools and supplies. Not that I'm not that I'm hoarding anything anymore, because man, we had everything we needed. I felt like, and then it all just burnt. And it's like, what's the point?
Well, for me, it's about like right now we live in a neighborhood, and I work from home, like you do, right? Work remotely, and the problem I have is people love to come and knock on the door all day long. When you have a garage and the car's in the garage, they don't know if you're home or not.
There you go. Yeah, look at it in that way.
But there is
Yeah,
a dog, so if somebody decides they want to try to break in, they know they're going to have to compete with at least a dog because she'll hit the door running. Every time somebody comes into the yard, she's all over the place.
yeah.
And they better watch out because I have a dingo and she will eat your babies.
Yeah, I like that. Bring your baby here. I have a dingo. No, bell loop. I don't say the world is flat. I just say, what if it is? What if it were flat?
Right?
I don't. I'm not forcing anything on anyone. I'm just saying, hey, I'm open to the idea that we could all be being lied to. I don't know anything.
I don't even know how to use a calculator.
Yeah, they got AI writing programs, and you can't. If AI writes a program for you, you can't maintain it.
Yep.
You don't know what the hell it does. Everything what programs do is they give things random names. So none of the procedure or method names in an AI generated program make any sense to a human being. Only the program can figure out those relationships. So it's out of your control. And I've been warning against this. I mean, not that I have any say or voice in anywhere, but
You got no
Deborah can
voice.
tell you. I've been telling them. I can see. I wrote programs that write programs, so I know how humans can do that. But once the machine's doing that, forget about it. You're never going to figure out the logic. You're never going to figure it out. You don't know the logic that the machine's using to do
Look at that dingo.
it. That's a cool looking dog, though.
She's a pretty cool dog. She has her
How many
moments.
pounds is that dog?
She's like right at 60 pounds.
Okay. Yeah, some of
And
our
She loves to sleep like this.
Don't all dogs.
She'll always start at like one side of the bed and then like stretch all the way out, like
Yeah,
diagonally, make up a king
yeah,
size bed.
yeah, yeah. They got it. She's got to be between you and the wife. You move that way, and you move that way.
Part of her will be up at my wife's feet, and the other part will be up by my head. I kid you not.
Yeah,
But the part that's always in my head is her back legs, and she'll start kicking me in the middle of the night.
yeah.
As a
Rachel
bed.
just on this comment right here. Oh, it's sorry. Oh, that's cute, man. That's a good looking dog. That's a dingo.
She is a North American dingo. They're called Carolina dogs.
Okay,
You can find
interesting.
them. You can still find them wild in the marshlands of South Carolina and Georgia.
In the marshlands.
Yep, they're swamp dogs, man.
So, like in Savannah or something, Georgia. I just don't know where the marshlands are there.
It's like there's an area of like South Carolina and Georgia, like where they kind of meet. There's
Okay.
marshlands there. I don't know the actual like what towns are close to or anything.
Do people ride fan boats and stuff there? Or is it that kind of marshland or
I don't know, but I'm sure there's probably some banjos.
and possums too?
See you, Gary. Have a good one, bud. I miss you already.
Dang, dudes, I've been seeing so many dead possums on the side of the road and skunks. We saw 2 dead skunks in the same spot of the road
That's one
today.
thing I'm
Me and
glad
Peter.
we don't have skunks around here. If we do, you don't see them. It's not enough that it's a thing that you really see them. I've never seen a live skunk in my area my whole life. I see possums all the time, but never skunks.
Yeah, we've been having a ton. We had a possum. Dogs got a possum the other day in our yard. Nothing. I'm surprised it even came in the yard, but they can't see hardly. I'm surprised they couldn't smell the dogs. But yeah, it got in our yard and them dogs killed it. I mean, what was it she said up here? Wait, it would be much faster to build in Arkansas if we sold. But I mean, yeah, that's my biggest thing. I'm so impatient. I'd rather just start be able to focus on one thing instead of having to worry about all the little details. But I'm seeing more and more lately that all the haste in my life has made a lot of waste. So whatever. Yeah, do what's right for you. Douglas is almost to the Mexican border. I knew that. I don't know where Douglas is. That's Arizona. I knew that. I didn't know that.
I will say when I go to Arizona, I'm gonna be eating a ton of green hatch chilies.
Green hats?
Hatch, hatch
Hatch.
chilies,
Oh,
green hatch.
hatch tones. Man, I
Yeah,
love chili.
I love chilies. Every now and then you can find them around here, but usually at some of your restaurants. Every now and then they'll have like specials with green hatch chilies, but it's not something you find like fresh produce around here, not in North Carolina.
Yeah, I bet you we could grow some. Well, we have grown some pretty good peppers here. We got
Oh,
tons of clay.
we can grow reapers here,
Grow what's?
the Carolina reapers.
I don't think I've ever had those. I've heard of them.
Yeah, that's like I'm sure somebody's outdone it, but more or less it was the hottest pepper at one point in time.
Yeah, I was watching a buddy's YouTube the other day who uh, didn't know about them ghost peppers, and he got some kind of sauce off the shelf that was it was called ghost pepper or something, and he took it home, and his favorite meal is to have tacos that his wife makes, and he just put a bunch of this ghost pepper stuff on like 4 of them, and then just woofed them down, and he was paying for it big time on both ends.
Yep. You have to go if you read any of the Scorpion, Ghost, and Reaper sauces. They all tell you to literally use a couple of drops, like put it in another sauce.
Yeah.
Like don't use this
No, I
straight.
don't. I don't need anything that hot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thin it
yeah.
out.
It's you use that so you can literally like spice up other dishes that you're making and
Yeah.
not literally not use as a condiment. You don't use that as a condiment. You use it to spice something up, like a chili.
Yeah. Don't use it
Something.
as a condiment. So, like you said, a condiment. Make
I've
sure
got
you
tons of
enunciate
hot
the
sauces
mint
like that.
part.
I have tons of hot sauces. When I try them, I literally do like a drop at a time when I'm trying it. And to me, a lot of those hot sauces, they don't taste good. A
Yeah.
lot of them just they're really gross tasting. So, if I'm wanting to spice something up, I'll literally just put a couple of drops just so I'm not getting, I got like a good flavor going on still. I want my food to taste good. I
Yeah.
like spicy food, but I don't want it to
Yeah,
taste.
yeah, I don't need the capsaicin to overpower everything else. I mean, what's the point?
Yep.
I've got to the point where like a lot of times I either use cheese on a dish, like especially like a Mexican dish. I'll either use cheese or I'll use guacamole or I'll use sour cream. But when you put all of that together, it just drowns each other out. You don't really get to enjoy it.
Yep.
So maybe you'll have onions, maybe you don't. Maybe you'll throw some olives in there, but don't put everything in there. Just make it taste good one way. And yeah,
And
I
my big thing lately is I've been smoking food a lot lately. I've been enjoying that.
I want to build a smokehouse. Yeah, I've made smokers out of old ovens and stuff. I like doing that. I like the fact that you can take a turkey and make it taste like ham with this with like a good applewood smoke.
I did ribs tonight, and they turned out really, really good. I made I picked
Beef
up
rib.
some. These were pork ribs, pork baby backs,
I don't think I've
but
ever smoked pork yet.
gotcha. They were fantastic. They came out really good. I actually soaked them overnight in a Eastern North Carolina style barbecue sauce, so the vinegar base,
A
and
what?
then
A what kind
uh,
of barbecue sauce?
Eastern North Carolina.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
It's a
Eastern North
vinegar based
Carolina.
barbecue sauce.
I've
Yeah,
never seen
it's
that.
like it's usually a combination of vinegar and brown sugar or sometimes molasses instead of the brown sugar, as well as
Okay.
a lot of chili peppers, a lot of crushed red peppers, stuff like that in it.
It
So
sounds
it's
good.
tangy and spicy.
Yeah, yeah, sweet and spicy.
Yep, it's really
I
really
like that.
good. And I let them soak in that. So it's a thin sauce. It's not like a thick sauce. I let it soak in it overnight, and then I used like a pork and poultry rub and had that all over it. More or less, that was like paprika, cayenne, stuff like that in it. Yep, it's flat.
No, I'm not distancing myself. I've just never. Yeah, that was Dee Dee's thing. He'd like to just try to put me on the spot and laugh at me about thinking, hey, it could be flat. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. It's the biblical stance. And I don't buy all the Bible, but I think a lot of it's a bunch of some people take it literally and some people take it metaphorically. I tend to lead towards the metaphorically side, but it it suggests the Bible suggests that it's flat. But I'm not going to argue it. I'm just saying, hey, I'm open to it. I don't think there's nothing wrong with being open to it. What if it is flat? I like to contemplate the what if it is. What would that mean? It would mean that we're being lied to. Yeah, I'm just saying. Oh, take
Tell
it
them,
easy.
Brent.
Butler's probably already gone. I'm not scared. I'm not scared to contemplate that this could all be a big freaking lie.
Right? It's a conspiracy, I tell you.
Yeah, these people are probably already gone. Sorry, I missed saying goodnight, but if you're still here, goodnight. Took me forever to drag to the bottom. There's only one person in here right now, and it's you. I just looked up at the little eyeball thing. Yeah, everybody left. That's cool. I'm not in here for numbers. I'm in here to hang out with friends. It's good to see you again, brother. Yeah,
You too.
I
Yeah,
was wondering.
actually, it wasn't me. It must be Rachel that's in there. Because when I just went back, it says there's two people watching.
Oh, it's Heather Hopper's in here.
Oh, it's
Uh,
Heather. Hey,
Heather's the hardcore hangout.
yeah,
Yeah,
man, that's as well.
yeah, I'm sure. Have you seen Dez lately? You used to hang out mostly on Dez's live with us, right?
Yep, I've been trying to get back up there. I don't think I made it to her live this past Friday because she's back on Friday nights again now. But I've been hanging with DJ quite a bit, and every other Tuesday I'll be doing the cartoon reviews with him now.
Oh, really? That's
Yep.
cool. Yeah, man, there's just a bunch of good people. I don't get to hang out with people as much as I'd like, but it's like I got 4 or 5 hours a day of work, and then a couple hours I could try to get stuff done on the farm, and then trying to help people. And it's coming around though. We think that our Florida house is finally going to sell. The people that are renting it are going to buy it, and we're selling it to them cheap
Cool.
just to get that debt out from under us, and that'll be the last of our debt. And then we might be freed up to move from here further north into the Ozarks, or we may just decide to stay here and get better off grid. I don't know. And there's a few properties. We know some families around here that have a ton of acreage that would sell us some acreage over there, but then we'd be starting almost completely over. But if we're off grid, it doesn't really matter. So I don't know. We'll just see what happens. So it's exciting. I'm glad that house is selling because that's the last of our debt, and then we have no debt nowhere, and we'll get
I
a
know
whole
that.
new.
I know that feeling very well. We had a house for a while that was being rented out, and we had a really good tenant for quite some time there.
Hey, Pink
And then,
Sparkle.
and then he up and left one day. He was like, his dad got sick. And he was like, I gotta go help my dad. And then the next person we got in there literally was. I wish we never rented to him. And
Uh,
after him, I looked at my wife and I was like, the market's getting better in that area. Let's try to sell it. This was a while back, and we were
yeah,
able to sell it. And I didn't care. I was like, look, I'll sell for whatever price as long as we, break even. I don't care. I don't want to lose money, but I don't want to be a landlord. I never planned on being a landlord. That was when we moved to England. We had that house, and at the time, it was when the recession had hit, 2008. Nobody was buying anything, so we had to rent it out for a while. When we moved back, our family was too big for that house, and that guy was living there, so we just let it roll. And it felt so good the day we sold that house. Luckily, made a little bit of money off of it, not a ton, but I was
yeah, we
happy.
didn't get much for ours. We paid on that place for over 20 years, 30-year mortgage, and it's more than half of it they still want to pay it off. It's ridiculous. A mortgage is a joke. And
Yeah,
it's a FHA loan too. It wasn't some weird loan, but the
that's
way
gonna be
they
our.
amortize everything, all most of the debt is put off until the end unless you make principal payments all along. You're not gonna get ahead. It's planned that way. I'm so sick of this system. I just want to be off grid. I don't want to owe anybody anything.
But we've got one more year, and my son will be done with high school. My daughter just graduated in January. She graduated and like 2 weeks later moved out the house. Like she's like, peace, I'm out. And my son's got one more year, and once he graduates, we no longer have to worry about what county we live in or where we live at. because we didn't want the kids to have to move and go to a different high school.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
So we've kind of
important.
stayed where we're at for the past several years, 3 years now, 4 years now, and so they wouldn't have to keep changing schools during high school. So once he's done, because we currently rent the place we're at right now. So once he's done, we're going to look at actually moving further away and finding a place to go in and buy and start working towards the retirement life.
Yeah. Yeah, I was retired until that fire, and we had to get back to work so I can make some more money. I blew through
Yeah,
my freaking retirement getting us here and set up. We were set up, and then it just all burnt.
yeah, that sucks,
Yeah,
man. That's horrible.
we homeschooled our kids. I mean, Christopher, our oldest son, he went to kindergarten and he came back learning some crazy crap, even just from kindergarten. And we just said, no, we're homeschooling. Deborah took that on. I was working. And then our younger son, he did his last year of high school in public school and just aced it, was a valid Victorian, and he wanted to do that so he could shoot for scholarships and stuff, and he got scholarships and stuff.
That's
But
awesome.
man, I mean, they had stuff when available to us when they were growing up that was everything was computerized. They had books. It just really helped with the homeschooling stuff. So it was pretty easy. I mean, I wasn't involved in it, Deborah was, but I think it was pretty easy to do. I mean, basically, the kids taught themselves, and yeah, they did really good. But I understand about the not wanting to change schools because we wanted our kids to have stable lives. We didn't move a lot. By the time they were in kindergarten, we bought our first house, which it was just a trailer house, a mobile home or whatever, on an acre of land. But we were on a semi-private pond. We could fish. We had a little dock out there, so they had a pretty good life. And I mean, we lived there most of the time, and then we lived in Washington State for a couple years, and then we moved back to Florida and bought another house, and that's the house we're selling now. But the people who are renting it were acquaintances of ours. I wouldn't call them friends, but we knew them because they were running a secondhand store there, like one of those little antique malls or something. And they were nice
Gotcha.
people. We'd buy stuff from them. And then when I was down there cleaning up the place to rent it out, they just stopped by and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And they said, "Hey, we're looking for a place." And I said, "You can have this place." And I let them move in without a deposit or anything because they said they'd help with the cleanup. And so it just worked out for everybody. And uh, we were just charging them basically what the payment was, and we worked together. If they had a problem, they needed some money, I'd send them some money, or if they could fix it themselves, they'd fix it themselves. Just really flexible people, good friend. I consider them good friends now. And so they said from the very beginning that they'd like to buy it, but they had to get some stuff straightened out with their credit, and now they're there. So
Yeah, we were so afraid because both our kids did so good in school, all through elementary to middle school. And we were like, when you get to high school, it starts really picking up the pace. And we didn't want to disrupt that. And I mean, it's worked out because both of the kids brought home straight A's all high school. My
yeah,
son's currently, he just finished AP pre-calculus, which
yeah,
is the most advanced top level pre-calculus they offer in school. And
yeah,
he's got a test he's got to take at the end of the year. If he passes it, he'll actually get a college credit for that class.
yeah.
And right now he's in AP English. And I mean, he's amazing. He's got like a 4.35 GPA.
Yeah, where do they get this stuff from? I got one of my sons is like a freaking genius, and I'm like, man, he didn't get that from me.
Well, our kids picked up. It's kind of funny. Both of our kids got what we were both good at, right? And my wife and I, we balance each other out. Like, I've always been really good at math, but like, the English and the grammar, Brett, my grammar. You taught me enough. I am not good at the grammars, right?
Yeah, the
I
grammar.
grammar no. So they got the stuff that my wife was really good at, the stuff that I was really good at, and it just worked out for both of them.
Sure.
And my son, my daughter did take after the more lazy side of us of not wanting to. Well, she's smart enough to know I can do up to this level and then I can stop. Like she wouldn't go overachiever. She wouldn't push herself to go
That's
as
a
much
good,
as she could.
that's a good quality. Know yourself, know your
Yeah.
strengths.
But she still had over a 4.0 GPA. I don't know exactly what it was. But the whole reason they're putting him in AP classes because they were like, well, his GPA won't advance if he doesn't take stuff higher than the honors classes now. And he's been doing the AP classes this year, and he looked at me and I was like, you're not gonna take AP classes next year, are you? And he goes, nope. Because it's not hard, but the amount of homework they send home. I mean, he's at school most of the day. He gets home.
I remember that when the kids were in school, man, they were sending them home so much homework, even just for grade school. And it's like, you got to be kidding me.
It's like he's never had this much homework. Never. He usually his homework he would be done and he'd do it on the bus on the way home. Man, he's
Yeah.
coming home with 3 to 4 hours of homework a night sometimes. I mean,
Yeah.
pre-calculus, she was
It's
sending
like they
stuff
just
home.
want to destroy him.
Yeah, well, in the AP classes, they don't count it all as homework. They count it as projects, so it has a higher grade weight to it. So if you get one question wrong, your score drops quite a bit compared to what a homework grade would have been.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like it affects your overall score more. So I mean, he's got to really put more thought and time into it. He can't just breeze through it. He's got to make sure he's got everything right. And he wants to make sure he does the right thing. So yeah, he's like, yep, nope. Next year, he's like, nothing AP. He's like, I'll do honors classes all day long. I don't care, but I'm not doing AP classes. And he'll
What
have
does
the opportunity.
AP stand for? What does AP stand for?
I'm not, it's funny. I actually asked him that yesterday. And let me see what I can figure out here.
So there's AP schools, or is it just AP classes?
Advanced placement is what it stands for.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I knew that.
Yep. Yeah, it's just the classes. So it's like you got like
I can hear you. I'm just get a drink.
you got your standard classes, then you have honors classes, then you have the advanced placement, the AP classes.
Advanced?
Yeah, right. So that's nuts. The going to like an actual AP school, my son would hate that. Like you said, it's just way too much homework.
Man, my younger son just blows me away. He went for programming in the gaming industry, and he's got freaking Japanese companies trying to get him now. He wants to live in Japan. He loves Japan. He's already been there a couple of times. He can speak Japanese. He can read Japanese. But now he's got a girlfriend in Cuba. And he's been down to Cuba a couple times. So we don't know what's going to happen. But man, that kid's just so smart.
That's awesome though. That those
Yeah,
opportunities.
I'm really proud of him. I'm proud of my older boy too. He's here with us. He's more the slacker. They're two different guys. But he's in the gaming stuff too, and he's more of a hardware nerd, I guess. He can fix any computer. He can build computers. I've built computers, but I wouldn't be able to do it today. He knows a lot more about it than I do.
I could do it, but I would have. There you go. I would have to actually do a little bit of research to get up on like the latest hardware before I built something, just because I don't keep up with it. I mean, I know like we could both build one. We would just have to find out what matches what the latest technology is to make sure we get the right things.
I'll just get my son to do it.
Hey Jonesy, how you doing, bud?
Hey, Jonesy.
That was like my son asked me a few probably about this time last year,
There's the link,
towards the end of
Jonesy.
school last year. You know, he was like, you know, does it make more sense to build a computer versus buying one? And I'm like, from what respect? He goes, well, how much would it cost to build one? I'm like, does it cost you a lot more money these days to build one, depending on what you're looking for? Like nowadays, all these companies are, you know, they're getting such better prices on bulk. Especially like looking at some of the gaming computers, you can get a good gaming computer a lot cheaper than what you're going to build one for, depending on what you're looking for.
Yeah, I would challenge that thought because my son builds them all the time cheaper than you can buy them for.
Well, it depends. You know, there's some
No, I have
caveats
no
to it.
idea, but oh yeah, so there's sites that help you build your computers.
Yep.
Yeah, I just leave all that up to Christopher now. I don't even fool with it. He built my
But
work computer that I'm using here.
yeah, but that's like I was telling him. If you're looking for cheap, you don't build your own.
He's going to build me a solid state computer. That's all I need for work because I remote into a dev box at work, and all I really need is to transmit keystrokes in solid state. Is just reliable. Just a little box. You seen them? Those little solid state computers. That's all I need.
Have I seen them? I've got one sitting here beside me somewhere.
He's got one of these liquid cooled freaking gaming computers I'm using.
I've
I,
got,
I don't need all that power.
I've got like three of those. What you're talking about, the solid
Yeah.
SBCs is what they call them,
Yeah,
single board.
I've used them before. They're reliable as hell.
Oh, they are. Yeah, I've got three Raspberry Pis over there. I've got something called a Pine Book, which is based off that technology, but it's in a laptop form factor, and it
A
actually
what
looks
book?
like a Pine, Pine, Pine Book.
Okay. I thought that's what you said.
Yeah, it actually looks like a MacBook Air. It really does.
I don't even know what any kind of Mac looks like.
I only know it because of people at work that got them.
Yeah, that's what Christopher says. I mean, he swears by it. He can totally build them cheaper. And then you know what you're getting.
Yep. Oh yeah, and I'm not
Freaking
an
hot,
Apple.
eh, Jonesy?
Yeah, I'm not
Go
an
ahead,
Apple.
rub it in, Jonesy. It's beautiful in Tasmania. We know. I love his show. I like watching his stuff. He's doing like a twice weekly or daily thing. I don't know what he's doing. He'd have to tell you. Sometimes I catch him. I just love listening to his show.
Yeah, I
He's
try
always
to watch his stuff too when I can. When he's on and I'm around and available, I'm like, "Oop, Jonesy's on."
yeah. 32 Celsius. What's that? What's that? That's like freaking 70 or something, right? Fahrenheit? No,
Let's
it's
see
80.
here.
Hottest day of summer
It's
so far.
89. That's
That's
89
right.
degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, he's in summer. That's right. Yeah, I just never learned Apple. They're supposed to be better for graphics and everything, but I just always did Microsoft. That's what I'm
I do not like their
specialized in.
UI. I don't like their UI at all. I mean, the back end is all Linux, but I've never cared for their UI and the way they lock you out of. They make trying to do your settings and stuff so much harder. It's just I do not care for Apples. But the place I worked at before my employer now, um, they had a few people that wanted to have MacBooks, so they got some in for. This is when I was doing the regular tech work, so they got some in for us and to use. And the minute he handed me one, I turned around and was like, he's like, you got to get familiar with it. I said, okay. And he looks at it when he goes, "What'd you do to your MacBook?" I'm like, oh, I blew the OS off of it, but I put Linux on it. He's like, no, you're supposed to learn the Apple OS. I tried and it sucks, so I put Linux on it.
Yeah, last time I tried to touch Apple was like way back in the late 80s, and it just didn't make sense to me. And, I'm sure Mac people make sense out of it all the time, but
Yeah, I don't even have an Apple phone. I got an Android.
yeah, we use Android phones. I'm not too kind, Jonesy. You're awesome. Yeah, you're just a laid back dude, and you're always laid back on your show. I love it. Apple was worthless. Well, the founder, that guy, Apple founder guy, wouldn't even let his kids use Apple stuff. He knows it's freaking evil. The bite out of the apple. I don't know. I can't go down rabbit holes anymore. I just don't care. NVIDIA GPU fave. What's GPU?
The NVIDIA graphics processing unit video card.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I've got one of those on this. That's what lets me
Yep,
put these backgrounds up here. I can even put animated backgrounds up and stuff.
yep. NVIDIA's are great.
Yeah, this is my son's gaming computer, and I just took it over when I started this job. He's got another one. But he's, like I say, I'm just going to use a solid state thing. It'll work fine for my work. And then Deborah's got another desktop. We got her that she's going to use for her YouTube stuff if she gets back into that. NVIDIA Streaming UI. What is that?
I've never checked it out, so I can't talk too much on what the user interface is for like their streaming. There's Jonesy.
NVIDIA Streaming UI.
Oh,
So you can use it to stream.
hey.
How you doing, Jonesy?
Oh man, it's too hot for me to be standing outside all day.
Yeah.
Can you hear me with the headset?
Yes.
Yep.
Hear you good.
Yep. Oh. All right. Yeah. Just
doing the lollipop work.
yeah, it's coming up to 3 o'clock. Yeah, that's it, man. Pays the bills. But she's what is it? There we go. 10 to 3. Monday afternoon.
It's 10 to 11 p.m. here.
Rachel, I just want to mention that Rachel didn't know a lot about gaming computers, but I guess they had to stop doing gaming computers because they use so much power and they're, off grid solar. That's interesting. I really want to learn everything they've learned about solar. I really want to get off grid, man. Screw this monthly bill crap.
Yeah, I'm working for the power company.
Shh. Hey, whatever pays the bills, but I just don't want to have bills. Rachel says hi, Joe.
Roboting your interest. Hi, Rachel. Good to see you. That's back to good, is it?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm slowly remembering. But I am an old man.
Oh, this Rachel says they used to live stream gaming for the last 10, 15 years. Yeah, Christopher does a lot of that. People actually pay him to watch him play games. It's ridiculous. That's just my opinion. I can't see playing computer games for fun because I program all day. The last thing I want to do in my free time is be on a computer. And here I am on a computer
Guy.
chatting, so it's not like I'm having to really process things.
Well, see, and for me, I use gaming as a way to keep computers fun, right? Working them all day long,
Yeah, I guess.
just like you use them to chat to have fun with.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want to see? This is Sheffield. I'm in a town in the country.
Yeah.
I don't know
Sheffield.
if you want to make it. Yeah, do you want to make a bigger screen? Only goes for about a couple of minutes, and I'll be out of it.
Dang it.
You're looking
I
good.
did it wrong. Hold on. I haven't done this in a while. Bear with me.
Just click and drag across.
I knew that. Don't start with me, Jonesy.
So, mate, if a
Have
silly
some
Tasmanian can do it, you can.
Have some patience, for God's sakes.
Okay,
Yes.
so Rachel,
Actually-
I have to make a
Oh, that's
comment.
pretty, man.
I indirectly met my wife because of EverQuest. She didn't play, and there's a whole story to it, and I won't go into that now. The question I have is, what server did y'all play on when you played EverQuest?
I played
I was on
Asteroids
Praxis.
and Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. There you go. That's my speed. Space Invaders.
Well, last
That's
weekend
it.
I went to the,
Yeah,
Centipede.
I was a champion.
Oh
last
man,
week I went to
play
the,
all night playing Space Invaders. I got to where I just roll on past and blow them all away.
Yeah,
last weekend I went to the beach specifically because they've got a retro arcade still there, and it's still the games are only 25 cents to play. Man, I was sitting there playing. I was playing Galaga and Ghosts and Goblins.
Oh, Galaga.
I was playing Galaga for hours, man.
Wow, I could do that.
well, that was the town. Just where am I going home? So I'm not sure about the Wi-Fi, whether it holds or not, but when you leave towns, it usually gets a bit weaker.
Yeah, that's pretty. You're on the wrong side of the road, though.
Yeah, that's a fine. Yeah, $1.99 a litre, United Servo.
You've been drinking, Jonesy? You're on the wrong side of the road.
Yes. Well, mate, you could be, apart from being hilly, you could be anywhere in the States, like Middle America, with what you're watching now, farmlands,
Yeah,
cattle,
that almost
sheep.
looks like Arkansas right there.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of similar. Yeah, that word. Similar things about Arkansas and Tasmania. Yeah, the rivers and like I was looking at a stinking dirty creek, and there was some brown trouts just swimming around in it.
Yeah.
Just then. And
yeah, there's trout here in the northern part of the state.
Anyway.
I love me some trout.
If the Wi-Fi drops out, that's.
Oh, he just dropped. Yeah, it just dropped. Yeah, it just chopped there. Now you're back. Oh, the road's getting more narrow.
They just. Yeah, we're in the countryside now, out of town. It's where the banjos are.
You stop and have some possum stew or wallaby stew.
That's it, mate. There'll be some roadkill on the side of the road unless the council workers have picked them up. This morning when I come in,
at least they pick them up there. In Arkansas, they just leave them. It's disgusting.
Oh no. There's a
in North Carolina, other people pick them up.
I just want to go scoop them off. Just at least scoop them off the road. I don't need to see that.
Brett's going to use it to make menudo with. We know Brett loves his menudo.
Don't plant ideas. Yeah, I like menudo. I'm not
that guy
ashamed.
smiling. You'll see that, right?
Me and Fred Sanford
ever
are
wanna
eating Menudo.
If you want to make Brett happy, start talking about Menudo. That's his happy place right there.
It does get old if you eat it a lot, but just having it once or twice a year, yeah, I love it, man. Hell yeah. I grew up in East LA, so we could go to the corner store on Sunday with a big old pan and have them fill it up with fresh menudo. And it was great.
So what do you think of that Cheech and Chong song? I was
Listen.
born in East LA.
Oh, yeah. I get that all the time from Devil Dog.
I did. Oh.
He likes to call me Carrot Eyes and born in East LA.
Ooh.
I grew up with the homies, and I know all the bad words in Spanish.
Hey, what's going on? I used to love watching Cheech and Chong.
Órale, vato.
There's some roadkill. Oh, that was wallaby or a kangaroo. I couldn't tell.
Oh, man. Me and Peter drove to town today, and there's a part of the road that looks like somebody must have hit a deer because it was a big old stain going across the whole lane. You know, somebody hit something big.
Yes, I saw a couple of deer yesterday. We went to go visit our daughter. It's about an hour drive away, hour 15. I saw several deer up and down that got just obliterated.
That's just so freaking nerdy. Her husband proposed to her in a game live chat. I could see that happening to one of my boys.
Like I said, I met my wife indirectly because of the same game that they met in. She wasn't playing the game, but long story short, there was we were in a Plane of Fear raid. This is back in like 1999, before that plane was something you could solo with a small group or do with a small group. You could probably solo it now. But it was a big raiding party. It was like 40 of us, and the server went down. So we all went and met in a chat room so we could coordinate logging back in, because in EverQuest, especially back then, I don't know if it's changed, but when you die, your corpse and everything that you had stays in that spot. And that particular place we were at was infamous. People would lose their stuff forever there. And the corpse wouldn't stick around forever. It would disappear after a while. So we would coordinate when you have these raids and there's a wipe like that because the server crashed, you would coordinate logging back in. And I ended up meeting my wife in this other chat room. Neither one of us were looking for love. We just started chatting back and forth and became friends. And we've been married now for 21 years with 2 kids. And
I bet you my son could relate with all of this. Yeah. He's met prospective girlfriends through gaming. Yeah.
Yep. Good old
I'm always like, yeah, you got an online girlfriend. Whoop-de-doo. But it worked out for some, apparently.
Yep. Like I said, when I met my wife, she was in England.
Wow. Maybe there's hope for my older son. He's a good kid. I love him. I just worry about him. But he's smart. Still living at home with us, but hey, if I could have all my kids here, I would.
That just goes further to show that he's smart. He's still living with mama and daddy and ain't got a woman to worry about.
Oh man, I needed me a woman when I was his age and younger. I'm
That's
so
'cause you're a
glad I
wild
got
child,
Deborah, man, because
That's because you're a wild child. The only reason you're not dead right now is Deborah.
probably. Probably.
That's what I say about me, my wife. Keeps me in line.
Yeah. Well, Deborah doesn't keep me in line. Well, yeah, she kind of does, I guess. But
I don't know how many
that's
times I've
probably-
seen a random object get thrown at you because you said something dumb on a live. Yes, she keeps
yeah,
me in
but
line.
that's all in good fun. I mean, she doesn't seriously get mad at me that way. I mean, she has been, but I mean, we always just still love each other. I mean, we haven't had any real serious arguments. I mean, we've had stuff where we're mad at each other, but it passes.
See, Heather said what I was thinking. You lie, Brett.
I do not. Ask Deborah. She would agree. We've had some pretty serious arguments, maybe one or two in our whole 35, 36 years going on of being married. One or two. And we came around on those. It was just like, we got some steam off, and yeah, we still love each other. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, my wife and I, we've been like that quite a bit too, especially like in the beginning. When we would get in arguments, it was usually over the stupidest things. Like one time we got in like a really big argument over freaking what cookies to buy.
And what?
And it wasn't
what,
because
over
what
what?
cookie? Over cookies.
Oh, what cookie? Oh.
Well, no, and here's the best part. It wasn't because I wanted something different than what she wanted. It was, I told her, get whatever cookie it is that you want. And she's like, what about these? And I was like, this is when she first moved over to the States. I'm like, you don't want those.
I thought we were talking gaming nerd cookies or something, but okay.
Don't get those. They're not going to be good. And she's like, well, you told me I could have any cookie I wanted. And I mean, like right there in the grocery store, we just went at it. And the funny thing is,
cookies.
Yeah, the funny thing is, we ended up getting those. And a little bit later, she was like, I should have listened to you. You're right. Those cookies are horrible. But she wouldn't admit it. She wouldn't admit it for a while. It took a while for she came back and said, yeah, those cookies are bad. I should have listened to you. But it come down to, at the time, she wasn't working.
Everything.
Hey, Jonesy. Welcome
Everything
back.
sounds like a Devo song. Electronic robots.
You must whip it. Whip it good.
I like snickerdoodles.
Whip it.
They're just so good and nutty.
I love snickerdoodles.
And
I like, fat. I love all cookies.
I like chocolate chip cookie with walnuts. Deborah likes Oreos. I think Oreos are a little gross. They're good, but they're just manufactured. I like stuff I can cook myself. I can't cook an Oreo. I mean, maybe I can put marshmallow between two chocolate. Yeah, but that's not even real chocolate. I like real chocolate. I like snickerdoodles. I think snickerdoodles are my favorite cookie. We lost Jonesy again?
I love snickerdoodles. Yep.
There he is.
Driving in East LA.
It looks like broccoli trees. Those are Dr. Seuss trees.
Yeah, okay. Well, you sound it. Those trees are probably 200-year-old.
Well, if you cut one, the Lorax is going to jump out at you.
There you go. George W. Bush. I don't like broccoli. Was that the president that was always saying he didn't like broccoli? Who cares? Nobody cares.
What's wrong with them? Man, broccoli, beautiful.
I didn't like broccoli when I was a kid. I admit it, but I like it now.
I grow it.
We always did. Right.
Brussels sprouts. They smell like feet.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's a nice way of putting it.
I love Brussels sprouts, but they do not love me.
Oh, yeah,
Those
it'll
things.
make you gassy. I can't handle bell pepper anymore. I mean, I can eat a little bell pepper, but I eat a lot, man. I'm gassy.
Bell pepper's fine, but I will taste
Oh, yeah.
Brussels sprouts for days. They just do not agree
I'm
with
going
me.
down into
I,
I'm going down
I
into a valley, so I hope the Wi-Fi sticks. Anyway,
But
if you
Rachel,
go
that's why
to,
I have to. That's why I have to eat the Oreos so I can destroy that cross. I'm stomping out evil every time I eat an Oreo.
with the cross on the Oreo
oh,
cookie,
there's a there was a wombat, poor old fella. He was in the middle of the road.
it's a little pixelated. I couldn't see it.
Yeah, he was a mess.
It's still pretty though.
Yeah, well, even though you got hundreds of people watching, I still like showing a few people.
Yeah,
You know,
it's just us in here.
yeah, no, but I like showing. Like when you go to the States and you realise how similar Middle America is,
Yeah,
to where we are, and we're so similar
yeah, it
except for
is.
the guns,
And the Dr. Seuss trees.
Okay.
You need some guns in those Dr. Seuss trees. Then you could defend your country.
Hey, we actually got our first. You know, you get millions of people walking in. I think we had 25 people come over on a boat the other day, and they got
How
pointed.
many?
25.
Yeah,
And
we're
they,
getting freaking what? Thousands, tens of
yeah,
thousands a day right now.
yeah. Well, they put them on a plane and they flew them out to Nauru Island, which is in the Pacific, and they have to be processed. And if they haven't got any documentation, well, they don't come in. If they got documentation that they're half decent people, well, they might let them in. But they come across in shark and crocodile infested waters to get in these rickety old timber boats. So they got big gonads just to try, Oh,
I don't even want to even talk about that whole situation that's going on here right now. I mean, I'm open to freaking people needing help, but what they're doing right now is just crazy. I think it's uncontrolled.
there's an agenda somewhere. Whatever the agenda
Yeah,
is, there's
yeah,
obviously an agenda. But like 50 years from now, people will talk about it.
yeah. Hopefully,
It'll be,
if people are still here.
that's why I like this place. Who's gonna come in and bomb a little island down the bottom of Australia?
Yeah,
Nobody.
I'd move there if I could.
I don't
I
think
just
I don't think I,
I think it's impossible to get passports anywhere, and Tasmania is probably really strict about who they let in. I know
not
Australia.
really. No. Anyone with a skill will get in here because there's no workforce. There's more jobs, not enough people.
I just want to move there and retire, though.
Yeah, I know. Well, you can always come out for a holiday and see if you like it.
Yeah, maybe one day, once we get our ducks in a row.
Well, you don't have to pay for accommodation if you want to hang out with a smelly radio guy.
I'll do it, man. If I could come, I'll do it. But that our house fire just set us back into the Flintstone days.
Yeah.
We just got rid of most of our goats our fainting goats. We got 2 left now, and that's more manageable for us. Not that the goats were a big problem. It's just they're not really serving a purpose for us because they're miniature. They don't make a lot of milk. And I want something that serves a purpose. So I want to get Nubians or something that's a bigger goat that we could actually get milk from.
I probably need a couple of goats just to keep the grass down at the back of my yard.
Oh,
Where I can't get to.
Oh, they're great at that. They've really cleared up our land a lot, and they've got access to our entire property, and they've really cleaned it up good. But now we only got 2, but we think we're just going to phase those out and get bigger ones.
So when you say phase out, they're not that tasty, or are they?
What do you mean? What? What'd you say?
They're not that tasty, or are they?
No, we're not going to eat them. I don't. I mean, I don't. I've had goat meat before. It's good meat. But they're just kind of pets. We're not going to eat them. Well, we'll just find them another home. We'll let these ones hang around until somebody shows an interest in them that has a nice farm that they can go stay at. We like having them around, and only having 2, it's not going to cost us anything to feed them. And
Brett, what you do is sell them to people and tell them these are great goats for goat yoga. And then all the yoga moms will have to get their own yoga goat.
I'm not doing that to my goats.
You could probably get like $5,000 for a yoga goat.
No inner city goats. I see people around here, they'll have just one goat tied to a pole, and that makes me sad because goats are sociable animals.
Yeah.
I just want the goats to have a good life. I'm bummed out because I got to process a bunch of rabbits. I've had to process a bunch of rabbits for a couple of years, and I haven't done it yet because I need help, man. I could probably do it myself, but I'd be really sad about it.
You know what? When I left school, my first job was a butcher because that was the family business. So I went into the shop, and within the 4 years of doing that, as soon as I got my license as the qualified butcher, my trade, I give it all away because I just hated that aspect of life. I know.
Did you have to slaughter them from live? Did you have to slaughter them too?
Only when we got like friends and family. We said, "Can you come to our place? We want to harvest, this, that, and the other." So that was a bit depressing.
Yeah, I mean, I love meat, but man, I hate killing things.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. You seem to appreciate that more the older you get too. I think. Anyway.
I think I've always been that way. I got one of my main memories when I was a kid is my dad taking me fishing, catching a 10-pound catfish. My dad did. And he was so proud of that catfish, but I convinced him to let it go because it was dying.
Yeah. And did he? He did, obviously.
Yeah, he let it go. I said, "Come on, Dad, it can't breathe out here."
Yeah.
Well, I hate to run, but I need to call it a night. It's 11:15 here, so
yeah,
I got to crash.
Yeah.
It's 3:15.
I can hang out a little while, but thanks. Hey, man, it's good to see you, Jason.
Good to see you too, Brett. Thanks for having me up, man.
I hope you get back to the coffee thing. I thought that was really cool.
Well, we'll see what happens.
I mean, no pressure, not from me. I'm just saying I thought it was really cool.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, Brett. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you around.
Take care, brother.
All right.
I miss you already.
Yeah. He loves saying that.
That's good. That was Jason. He was the coffee guy that
Yeah,
was always on
yeah,
Dez's. Yeah.
yeah. So what's he call himself now?
Oh, what was it? Dang it, I forgot already.
It's something about Pest Hunter or
Outer
something.
Gum.
Oh, Out of Gum. That's another one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I guess that's just one of the usernames he comes in under. But he was doing
Yep.
camping stuff and showing all
Yeah.
the like state parks and stuff in his area,
Yeah.
camping and coffee or something like that.
Yep. It's funny how you get stuck in your niche and you think, do I really want to keep doing this niche?
Yeah.
I like my thing is going to the beach and doing lives and showing different sites of the island. When I get a chance.
Yeah. It's nice because you can tell that you enjoy doing it and people enjoy seeing it. So why not?
Yeah, it's not like I'm never going to get super popular as a channel, but it's just fun doing it.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's the thing though. As long as you have fun, you enjoy doing it, then yeah, why not?
Yeah. Here
And
we
you
go.
never know. It could turn into something. You never know. Something may click eventually where you go, oh, I could do this or that.
Yeah. Well, that has already. Like, I turned all my beach stuff into a beach channel, which is not really going anywhere, but I really haven't tried hard. But so I started up the beach feet, and that's just me talking without seeing me at all and walking around beaches.
Yeah,
So I enjoy doing that.
yeah,
And I physically I enjoy going to the beach, put my feet in the water, and walking around.
yeah.
Because I got a few health issues, like when you get older, and I got to keep moving. Like like when I get home tonight, I've got to do 2 hours of radio for a bit cut station that pays me. So here we go, left onto the freeway. This is the freeway, the massive freeway. Here we go. Oh, no one coming. Oh, yeah, yeah. So I sit down, I have a drink, I have something to eat, and I do my radio shows. And then I go inside, talk to the other half, have some dinner, and then basically watch TV, go to bed. Like I physically got to do some walking and yeah, because I'm not the fittest and healthiest person on this planet. Let me tell you that.
Me neither. I sit on my butt all day for work. Well, I messed up my back and neck when I was 23, so that kind of messed me up. But
Yeah,
I'm happy to be where I am, at least.
yeah.
Man,
Well,
go ahead.
you know, no. When I was a young bloke, I thought I'd be an athlete, so I tried soccer as a professional sport. Like I got into it. I got really good at it as a young bloke, and the money wasn't really good. The pay, like you had to obviously you couldn't do it full time. It's like a part time job. But
Yeah,
then my mates who were playing rugby league, to be more precise, said, we're getting this, and if you can kick a ball better, like you do, we can get you as the goal kicker. And so off I go, thinking, oh, I'll go play rugby. And my father was a professional rugby player back in his day, and he was saying,
oh,
soccer's a girls' game. Go play rugby. What's wrong with you? All that sort of stuff. And off I went to play rugby, and I got pretty well paid. And I thought I was going to be somebody, which I wasn't, and I didn't. And like 3 years later, I got cut, and I went to the country areas. So what I'm saying is that I know how to be fit, and I know how to be healthy. I just stopped doing it. That's basically what I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I think you're just holding yourself to a high standard that you don't really need to. What is being fit?
Yeah, you can have a heart attack. Yeah.
Nah, you don't worry about. It's that kind of thought that's going to give you a heart attack. Don't worry about it. Live your life and just be happy.
Yeah. Well,
I smoke. I drink. I have old people pains, but I'm happy.
Yeah. Hey, when we come over this hill here, I'm not sure if it's this one or the next one, but the ocean should be straight in front of us. So I'm trying not to get too close to that truck. I'm driving like an old man. Look at me, I drive like an old man. Everyone's overtaking me.
People, it doesn't look like people drive aggressively there, at least. It looks like people are pretty respectful.
There we go, mate. There's the ocean.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look at the view. If this was in a bigger regional area or bigger metropolitan, there's money for the land to see the water. But there's not enough people, and you can see water everywhere. When people come in, go, geez, why haven't people? Yeah, she's a beautiful day today. Look at that.
Yeah, see, this reminds me when I was in junior high, I just started skipping school and running away to the beach. I'd stay at the beach for 2 and 3 days at a time. My mom would be so mad, but I didn't care, man. I hated. In East LA, I was a minority because everybody there was Mexican, and I didn't fit in. I hated school, so I'd just run away and I'd go stay at the beach and I'd go beach combing for 3 days in a row, and I'd just take a sleeping bag and I'd sleep on the sand. I'd almost get run over by the tractors combing the beach in the morning. But I loved it, man. I didn't care. I got 3 days.
So how does East LA young bloke end up in Arkansas?
Well, I was in my long story short, my sister married a guy from Georgia, and they had just had my first niece, and I really loved my first. I still love her. She obviously a grown up now, but when they moved back to Georgia, I kind of decided I hitchhiked across country to go be with them again, and kind of lived with them. I worked and stuff and contributed, but lived with them at first, and then got out on my own in Florida and stuff. So I ended up in Florida, and then I went back to California once more and didn't like it, and went back to Florida again, and then met Deborah. Met Deborah in Florida, and she was from Mississippi, which is near Florida too. Actually, Deborah's mom worked at a pizza restaurant that I managed in Florida. She was a delivery driver, and I kept talking about how I just wanted to meet a nice girl because I was tired of being a young partier. You know, I was into drugs, and I was just tired of that lifestyle, and I wanted to meet a nice girl and settle down. And her mom started saying, "Have you met my daughter?" And eventually I met her daughter, and it was Deborah. And when I saw her, man, it was just love at first sight, basically.
Okay, and how did the future mother-in-law feel about that when you first kicked off?
She loved me.
She was happy.
She wanted to introduce me to her daughter. She's the one who put us together.
Yeah, no, but when it finally happens, that she didn't obviously change the tune.
No.
Sometimes mothers get a bit, don't you do that to my daughter?
No. Deborah's mom was awesome. She's just, I think that she knew we didn't know until later, but she ended up dying really young. And
Oh, wow.
we think that she knew she was going to die and she just wanted to find her daughter a good husband.
Oh, that's
Not
pretty
that I'm all that great.
in a strange way. I mean, in a sad way, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was just we couldn't believe it, but yeah, she died when she was 39. Deborah was only 18, old enough to marry.
Yeah, well, we got married young.
I married her when she was 18.
Look out. And you were what, 35?
I was 22.
No, I'm joking. Yeah.
I was 22. I did feel like I was robbing the cradle, though, even though, it's only 4 years, but.
Yeah. No, we got married at 22, 23 and 22.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty young.
Like,
I mean, looking back at it, I was just a kid.
Yeah. I just wanted to get out. I moved out of my house when I was like 18. So I moved out, done my thing, and then went, you know what? And when I do find the right person, which turns out to be the right person because we've been married since 85. And
88. We got married in 88.
And all my mates, right, are going, "You're crazy. What are you doing getting married? Blah, 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 blah." They've all been married two or three times, you know.
Yeah.
And I just went, oh, well.
Yeah, everybody, my sister and everybody, I don't know, they didn't trust her or whatever, but
Yeah,
I don't care. I was in love.
Yeah, you know,
I
like
still
even
don't know
when we
what
moved,
love is, but I know I was in love and I still am.
well, that's
Whatever
pretty
that
cool.
is.
Yeah. But you got to have someone to go through life with. I'll tell you what, it must be someone who is sort of wants to do the same journey with you.
Yeah, you
It's like,
you move away from your parents and you bind with your new mate and you do it together.
yeah. Well, my missus got sick. We were going to retire on the island. We're not from here originally. We were going to retire here because everyone goes north. Everyone goes to the hot sunshine. You know, like it's like everyone moves to Florida. Everyone goes to Queensland.
Yeah.
And we're the opposite. We wanted to go where it's cooler. So we
me too.
And this place is like an oasis of things to do in such a small area. Like you can drive 5 hours and then you can't drive anymore because you'll be into the water at the other end of the island.
Yeah.
So, there's so much to do and see everywhere.
Yeah. I love it, man. It's really pretty.
All my mates said, "Don't. What are you moving to Tasmania for?" And my family, they go, "Tasmania,
Because I like
you're crazy." Yeah. And now I'm here. All my family that said you're crazy, all going, "Oh man, look at the view you got. Look at the price you paid for your house."
That's what's happening here too. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
My
Maybe that's see,
here's
look at the
the
mountain
cool
in front of us. It doesn't look like much on the phone, but there's mountain ranges all over the place.
Doesn't do it justice, but it's still pretty. I can fill in the gaps. My grandmother on my mom's side was born and raised in Arkansas. In the same town that my mom is now living in, which is an hour and a half northwest of here in the southern tips of the Ozarks. And the Ozarks are very unique to the United States because it's all rock and there are natural springs that come out of the rock. and provide
Yeah.
fresh, cold drinking water year round. Man, I want to. It's an hour and a half away. I'm so close. I really want to move up there by my mom, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of just all up in the air right now.
Yeah. So
If we,
if I wanted to move and buy, say, 10 acres or 5 acres in the middle of the island or further inland, like where I was just working, I would probably sell my house for the same money as what I'd pay to go there, because no one wants to. Everyone's attracted to the water. No one
yeah,
really wants to live on the farming side of it. But
yeah,
I would have loved to be inland, because I come from the country originally, and the coast is so close anyway.
yeah,
But yeah, my wife, she wanted to. When we bought, she said, "I got 3 things I want. I want to live near a hospital because she's got a few issues, and that's why she was sick." And anyway, long story. But she wanted to live near a hospital and have a view, if possible, and have a town or a city where she can walk to, because she doesn't drive. And so that sort of makes it a bit hard to find the right house. But man, the house we
yeah.
bought was probably the oldest and the ugliest of the ones we wanted to buy. But in the end, it's turned out to be a pretty good investment, really, because we've made it a little bit better on the inside. Put in new fireplaces and polished up the floors. Just done some cosmetics.
Yeah.
And the outside now is the mission to fix the retaining walls and the gardens, just to make it look aesthetically pleasing. If you really wanted to move there, there's not a lot of work you have to do, because
Yeah.
no one wants to mow that lawn in my yard. It's just like you'll break your neck climbing up and down there with your weed whacker.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, mate. Like yeah, you got to lean back, because if you fall forward, you'll roll. You won't stop till you hit the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But, on my lives, I show a camera up there. It just doesn't look steep. It looks like a gradual slope, but man, you gotta hang on to the fence as you're climbing up, and when you're coming down,
Yeah.
you gotta wear boots. You gotta have boots to get a grip. If you have joggers that are
That's
flat
kind of
soles,
like that's kind of like Drew's property, if you've seen that.
yeah, I'm watching Junk the Gems. I like him,
Yeah.
Gary.
Yeah, yeah.
Seems like a cool dude.
He's just a very positive person. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a East LA surfer who's
Yeah,
moved
yeah.
to the country. That's what he
Yeah.
reminds me of.
Yeah.
Like a California surfer dude who's gone
Yeah.
feral.
Well, he's originally from Michigan, though.
All right, yeah.
So yeah. I've lived in Michigan a little too. So that's up there by Canada.
I wonder what the secrets were in keeping his long flowing locks. God, he's got some looking hair for an old bloke.
Yeah. I'm wondering where the gray hair is. Do you dye your hair? I'm gonna have to ask him. Do you dye your hair, dude? Where's all your gray hair? He's a year older than me. I've got gray hair.
Yeah, he's a worker, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? You're only as old as your mind says you are, too, because they've obviously got a young daughter there that's with them.
Yeah.
And keeps them young.
Oh, that
They got
kid has a blast with them people too.
Yeah. And it's funny because YouTube's such a big place. Yeah, so many channels. But I don't know what it is. I've gravitated towards the Arkansas sort of channels. Maybe not. Maybe not the bigger channels.
There might be something wrong with you.
Yeah.
We're just simple folk. Oh, did I lose you? Oh, I think I lost him. I think I lost him. Maybe he'll come back. Oh, Jonesy. There he is.
Am I there?
Yeah, there you are. Oh, you got a better picture now. You must have picked up a different cell tower or something.
Oh, okay. I should
Yeah,
have good Wi-Fi all the way home.
Yeah, that's a better picture there.
Yeah.
I forget what you were saying.
Oh, I just gravitate towards them smaller Arkansas channels. The bigger popular ones, I'm sort of not into them. Like, I don't want to say
I'm
which
the
one.
same way. I have a hard time getting into them. I don't know if it's because I'm jealous or I
No,
just
I'm
don't.
not jealous.
It's just
Yeah.
I just kind of feel like I just can't relate as much because we're
Man.
struggling more than that.
You know Peter, obviously Old Man King. When I
Yeah,
first seen his videos, it was hi, Peter. It's 2 a.m. It's
yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah,
Those first videos that he used to do, and I
yeah,
thought, who the heck is gonna watch this,
yeah,
mate? I'm a member of his channel now because I just love the guy.
yeah.
Like he just
Oh, he's got a
yeah,
heart of gold. He loves his animals and he's got a dream.
yeah, and
And it's
obviously
just
somebody,
simple. It's
yeah,
just simple stuff that you can relate to. That's
that's
why I
it.
started watching him.
Yeah,
And,
he
we
is.
got fascinated and now he's here.
Yeah, he's like he's graduated to somebody helped him support him get the property, and now he's on
Man,
the way up.
he's got a subscriber that wants to remain anonymous, but uh
Yeah,
uh they have supported him big time, even more so than us. I mean, he stays here rent free and everything, and that's the least we can do. But if it wasn't for that subscriber, he wouldn't have Jeff's place.
yeah,
Now,
that's pretty
now,
good.
yeah, it's pretty awesome. And she's, man, what a sweet person.
There's some more ocean in front of us. But yeah, no, she's well, whoever it is, anyway, it's lovely. It's and like he doesn't look like he's the most agile, fit person to be homestead to be knocking up fences and building.
Oh no, he's going to need help, but he's got a community around him, and he's going to live down the street from Dogman, and Dogman's a good dude.
Oh yeah,
Um, he's going to have community around him. We'll help him get some raised beds going and help him get it where he can manage it. And he's
yeah,
also talking about having a trailer site on his on the property so that he can have someone stay there to help him. And
yeah,
so that could
nice.
be a good deal for someone who needs a free place to stay and trade for a little labor.
Yeah, it's a smart move if he gets the right person.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
It'll all
just
work out. It just takes time.
yeah. The only downside to everything is that the time zones are so conflicting. Like your afternoon, evening sort of time zones when everyone starts doing their lives and stuff is our like daytime stuff where we're out in the hustle and bustle. It's
Yeah.
about the only, unless I was retired, which I did retire for about a year, and
Yeah,
then
me too.
I seen the finances going downhill real quick,
Yeah,
and I went,
me too.
you know what? I'm going to leave that superannuation where it is, and I'm going to go back to work for a few more years and put some more money in. Like over here, we get a pretty good deal with super, when you work, they have to pay 12%.
We talked about Peter too much, and now he's here.
Yeah. Well, with Beetlejuice. But yeah, this is the car behind me. I'll let him go past, then I'll get around this truck. Yeah, but no, I like them sort of smaller Arkansas channels. I've got some other people as well, like music friends, who've got channels, and I don't watch television at all now. I just do YouTube. Look for me mates. What are they up to? What have they done?
Yeah, I have to admit, I've been on a binge lately, or watching again. I haven't watched it in a long time. Every time I watch it, binge watch it. But Little House, no, not Little House. The Waltons. I started watching the Waltons again. I like seeing the old timey stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And like I like watching Gunsmoke and things like that. Well, we used to have a 3D TV. I'd put on my 3D glasses and pretend I was in the Gunsmoke bar.
All right.
Talking to Festus.
Oh, we're not going to see much now. I'll go back there. Whoop. Yeah.
Hey, John Boy.
My wife's into all that sort of stuff as well. And like all these shows they got on now. Yeah, like everyone's challenging everyone. There's You're Married at First Sight. Have you seen that stupid garbage?
Married what?
At First Sight.
Married at First Sight?
Yeah, they get all these couples that are usually weird, and they're not married for a reason, and then they put them in. They get some expert to pair them up, and then they sign a thing saying we're going to marry you, and then they I don't know. Technically they marry him properly, and then when they never. There's probably out of the whole history of the show, probably one couple that stayed together. But yeah, then they show them fighting and whinging. They got cameras in the bedroom. There's all sorts of garbage going.
I've just never been part of the popular scene and never really understood it.
Oh, see, my videos in the morning that you watch the sun come up.
Yeah.
This here on the left. This is the ridge, and the sun comes up behind this ridge line.
Yeah.
This is it on the left, on my left.
Oh, really? So you're coming back around towards where you live, or? All right, cool.
Yeah.
So this is at Peninsula?
Yeah.
Oh, you're cutting up. Oh, we lost them. Probably when he gets around the peninsula to pick up another cell tower.
We're sort of coming around it.
Yeah.
Well, this is it on the left.
Peter's getting from New York down here was all one subscriber. I couldn't believe all that work she did.
Wow. Is she not looking for a husband? Is she, Peter?
I don't know. I highly doubt. Just a really good person. Loves animals, wants to help animals. Maybe that's what she sees in Peter. He's kind of like that drummer off of the Muppets.
Animal.
Yeah, animal. We'll have to get Peter a drum set.
Yeah, I could come over and give him some lessons.
We still got to see you play drums one day.
Yeah.
Or whatever your instrument of choice is. Drums?
Yeah, drums.
I've always wanted to learn to play the drums. That just looks like it'd be a good way to take out stress.
It does. And I'm really bad at drums, but I've sort of muffed my way through. And people who are, you know what social media is like? You video yourself on drums, and you get every person under the sun bagging you out who's a drummer or who's jealous because you haven't played their music on the radio for them, and they just give you grief on social media. So you never see me online drumming for that reason alone.
Yeah.
Because I get a lot of grief.
Something you're just doing for fun and
yeah. Shit.
It just seems like it'd be such a killer stress relief to bang on some drums. I don't want to work. I just want to bang on the drums all day.
Yeah, well, I get to. I usually put the headset on, and no one can hear it. I put the electronic kit on, and then I lock myself in that little studio, and I'll put a AC/DC album on, and I'll just play the full album. I'll just play the full album.
You and your AC/DC.
Yeah, man. Like Phil Rudd as the drummer, like the best drummer of AC/DC, obviously was Phil Rudd. He hits back at the end of the beat, like he doesn't. If you listen to AC/DC, the doof doof is not. You listen to the song, you'll notice now the drum beat is right at the end of where you listen to other people, and you'll hear the beat early. He does it really late. That's his thing. It's always been. That's why his sound stands out more than others. But
I have to admit, you're not gonna like this. I don't know. Well, I like that lead guitarist,
Angus.
Angus.
Yeah.
I like him, and I like the drummer, but the freaking lead singer always reminds me of that one Broomhilda witch from Warner Brothers or Bugs Bunny. I always picture it.
Well, like today, the 19th of December here, which is, you're going to get it soon. Bon Scott died on this day, the 19th of December, back in 1980. Yeah, so it's his anniversary of his passing today. 44 years ago.
The lead singer.
Bon Scott, like the first one. Oh, the second one. The first one was Dave Evans. He was only there for about a year, and then he got back.
I don't know this stuff.
Yeah, Dave Evans got kicked out. There was a bit of it back. Remember Gary Glitter? Right? But all that sort of glitter rock, the glam rock. Remember
glam rock, yeah, hair bands.
Well, glam rock was where Dave Evans wanted to take the band, and Angus was 16, right? So he wanted to be like a heavy rocker. So he didn't want to go glam rock. He wanted heavy. So they had this argument, and he left. So Dave Evans said, "Look, I'm out of here," and that's probably the biggest mistake he's ever made in his whole career. But he's actually lived off that for his whole career because he's played AC/DC. He travels the world doing AC/DC as the first singer of AC/DC. But that's a long story.
I never could stand the Beastie Boys either.
Oh, jeez, no. Neither could I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay with AC/DC. I'm not saying I don't like them. I'm just saying that one lead singer always reminded me of that cartoon character.
The newest one with the hat. Is that the one, Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's Scottish anyway. They got him from when Bon died.
Yeah, Neil Peart and John Bonham. back to good speaking my language. The best drummers, in my opinion, Neil Peart and John Bonham. Right on.
Yeah. Some good ones out there that never get recognized. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, they don't get in the limelight.
This is my little hometown.
Oh, that's nice looking.
I'll take you for a lap around town before I go home if you want. From here I can see my house just on the hill to the left.
Really?
Whoop.
So this is down by the beach.
Yeah, the beach is straight ahead.
Yeah.
So
man, I could walk around there all day.
Yeah, people do. This is we can walk here going
That
home.
looks like St. Augustine, Florida. St. Augustine, Florida is the oldest city in the United States.
All right. Check out the old church there.
We used to live about 30 minutes from there when we were in Florida last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the old architecture stuff.
Yeah, that's the 70s office building that they built in the 70s on the left.
Yeah, I really romanticize the 70s. I was a carefree kid then, even though I was a minority because I lived in a Mexican neighborhood. But I always liked the Spanish people, and I still like Spanish people. I think they're awesome.
Tasmanian tiger mural. People go there to get their photo because the last tiger died about 100 years ago.
Jason was showing me he's got a dingo.
Dingo? A dingo Jason got my baby?
Yeah. Jason has an actual dingo dog.
Yeah. There's a few
already. You can get them. Kind of look like that dog on that mural.
They're wild dogs over here. Like they're actually that's the beach straight ahead. Actually, if I could drive, I'm hoping the lights would go red, but no. I'll get left.
Right. Do they let you drive on the sand anywhere on the beaches there?
Yeah. Not these ones because they're sort of
touristy.
Yeah. But I tell you what, the tides come in and go out. You're just like, you don't want to be stuck there on a low tide.
Yeah, we used to drive on the beach in Florida when we lived there. I used to drive a VW bus out on the sand.
I like up here for the shopping center.
Oh yeah, that's pretty.
What they did, they built an archway so you could walk across the street and not get torrential rained on. When it rains here, let me tell you, it rains.
Yeah.
So if you get, there's an archway further up here, and there's like the arcade that can get you from block to block through all the different shops.
That thing up the street there.
Yeah, I'm going to drive under it in a minute. Yeah. Yeah, they built
But you just walk under it. It's not like a thing you walk across on.
No, it's a crossing, but it's not a crossing. It's it's not a. It's like a walkway. You got to give way to the cars. Cars don't give way to the people.
Yeah. You stay on the street. It's just a cover.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, you can walk underneath.
Yeah, man, that's what I want on my slab here. That's all you need here. Something to keep the weather off of you from top. Well, it gets really cold too, though. I'm trying to plan the most cost-effective way to get a structure back on our property.
You see that? She got red hair. The Mike from DD5. He's a carport that they put over his caravan. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That shed.
Yeah.
It's pretty huge.
I thought about doing something like that and then just building walls, but then Gary from Junk to Gems was over here the other day, and he says what he's looking at Oh no, that wasn't him. It was somebody else that said it. He's just gonna get chicken house trusses, because you can get them really cheap here, because there's old chicken houses everywhere, and they're structurally sound, and you can use those to put up a house really quick. I'm hearing all kinds of ideas from all kind of people.
This is the port over here. All the trains and the train wagons come in and get the containers and things. There's a ship over there. See that ship?
Yeah.
And you get fined big time playing with your phone. But there's another.
Don't get in trouble because of us.
Oh no, I like showing. That's that ship. You know, I say in the morning the ship comes in. There's a couple of ships there. It's the green one. I'll come back that way and show you one more look. That's the movie theater.
What is that Mercer thing or whatever?
Metro.
Metro?
Yeah, that's the movie theater. So all the blockbusters, you know, if you want to go support Hollywood, that's where the movies come.
Do you smell any fast food places? You got to tell me if you smell onion rings.
No, but right next to me is the where they make the Subway. That's next to me here on the left.
What, a Subway sandwich shop?
Yep, right there. Right there, see?
Oh, it's actual Subway. Okay. Yuck. I mean, Subway's pretty good. I shouldn't say yuck.
It's pretty good for us. That's humble little. But fast food, like the big chains in town, we've got Subway, we got McDonald's, we've got Hungry Jack's, we've got KFC, we got a really nice couple of Chinese restaurants. We had Chinese last night for dinner, which was the missus' pick for another night, since it's a week of it's my birthday. So
I swear it looks. What? It's your birthday?
No, the missus. It was over the weekend. So
man, there's a lot of people with February birthdays. Me and Deborah are both in February.
Yeah, mine's. You can never forget mine. Mine's 4/20.
Yeah,
I've always. And actually, it's the same birth date as Adolf Hitler. 4/20.
Wow, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, when it's your birthday, you find out these things. School teachers that sort of. Why are you born on the same day as Adolf Hitler? I said, well, you better start behaving yourself. Give me an A, not an F. Because I could change.
You got the coolest birthday ever, says Rachel.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you one thing. When we went to America and we went to that, luckily enough, had that party with Morgan Freeman, the actor. Man, I've never seen so many different flavors of different things. Different. Oh man, that was the nicest. Coke.
I couldn't believe when we went back to California and I don't know, it was like 2018. We just went there because my grandmother died, and we went to a dispensary because it's legal there now.
Yeah.
And man, they had all kinds of stuff in there.
Well, that's the beach on the other side of the railway tracks.
We got some pills, and those pills were like crazy. You take one of those pills, and it was just like, wow.
Yeah, I reckon California is, apart from the craziness going on there, would be a pretty cool spot.
Yeah, I think it's messed up because I think because I went there because they take a picture of your driver's license,
Yeah.
and then because I went there, I couldn't buy a gun anymore.
Okay.
I think that's what they're doing. I think they're saying, "Oh, you can have some pot, but we won't let you buy a gun," and they use that to justify it. That's what I think's going on. Because I don't know of any reason why they flagged me for not being able to buy a gun.
Okay. That's the back end of that ship that comes in every day. And like, that's one of the little containers forklifts, which is a big container crane, really. This is the yard, but it's
shipping containers, so I can build an underground house.
Yeah. Oh, got a car coming. This is a new place going up right there.
Yeah, that's what I've always heard back again. I think that they're just using that to make it where people can't have guns.
They don't want you to...
Yes, it's a school night, but I can get by on just a few hours sleep. I've done it. I do it almost every night.
So that's the back of another cargo ship.
Yeah.
It's called Grim Arrow or something. GREME. Arrow. That one there. That's sort of the back of the green one. Yeah. Anyway, that's about the tour. That's about all the town that's you can see. I think I took you down every street. So it's not a town. We're the smallest city on the island. They call us a city.
I think a town would be smaller than a city. So
there are towns that probably haven't got, they're spread out bigger, but they haven't got as much infrastructure, like as in all the government built. We got all the offices, and we got a courthouse, and we got the big police station, and I'll go back by the police station, show you that. Have we got this old place here? This one always gets me. This one.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Well, I like watching all the old history photos when you Google them, and you see these buildings when they're in their heyday. Back in the 30s.
Yeah. That stuff's been there since the 30s. Well, that one building definitely looked 30s. Yeah.
Oh man, this town was built in the 1802s or something.
Wow.
Yeah. And they see the big square across.
Yeah, that's why it reminds me of St. Augustine. Sorry, go ahead.
The big square building across the road. That's the modern police station. All right, this one I'm going to turn across in front of the big brick thing. And the next old building you see there, that's on the left, the old one. Yeah. That's the old police station.
Look at the freaking balcony.
Yeah, I can't hold the phone there. It's really a bad spot. And that's the government council.
Chicken.
Oh man, it's about $250. That's the best Chinese restaurant in town. Right there. The Fortuna Gardens. And
I'm starting to think Starry is Deborah. Because they said this. What about Deborah? Won't she be heading in soon to get ready for bed? Complaining about me being on here on a school night. I'm an adult, Starry.
Right here. like you probably can't see it, but the white square house up in the middle of that hill to the right, that's us. You can see it crystal clear when you're down in town. And it's white as well, and it's square, so it definitely stands out. I should put a movie projector on it at certain times of the year, and freak people out, by playing different things on it.
Yeah, I think you can have a medical card in Arkansas.
It's a nice convertible.
420.
This is the fire station.
I'm just reading some to
right there.
What is that?
The fire station.
Oh.
Like we get to see the fire truck come out, like from out, like right here. Right, I'll just pull over here.
Yeah, block the door.
Yeah, I did actually. But
make sure you hold your camera up real high too.
I'm just trying to see, like, see the houses. Anyway, like up here, it's a white square one. Probably he's behind a tree now, so it's not so square. But anyway.
Heather Hopper says the difference between cities and towns is that cities have hospitals and towns don't.
Well, yeah, we got a big hospital.
It sounds, so it's a city.
We've got a huge hospital, actually.
Yeah, because your wife.
Yeah, but I like this too. Like the graffiti under here is like managed. Like they ask different graffiti people to.
Yeah, there's not a lot of other people's graffiti over it. There's not conflicting graffiti. It's just one thing.
No. And then someone applies to have like 4 months of their graffiti art. And then at a certain time of year, it'll get changed. Someone else. And over here is like actual artwork, art pieces. Like people frame.
Starry is a shill for Deborah. She's been over here scolding me about being up too late. She's been listening to Deborah in another chat. That's funny. Right.
Yeah, so you can apply to have your artwork put up there.
No, I'm not on Tiny Phone. Sorry. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Right. I'm just replying to the chat. What were you saying?
No, but like you can apply to the local council, the local government, to have your artwork put up underneath here.
Yeah.
So everyone puts their artwork up, and it's just
that's cool.
Stories of what it is, but they don't get damaged. They don't get stolen. It's just this is the freeway too, by the way.
Yeah.
Underneath it.
Yeah. That's the way it should be.
Well, it's like this is like going back in time. If this was over on the Big Island, like the mainland,
take care. Sorry. Appreciate you.
It would be it'd be wrecked. The jealousy or just idiots. But this is the walk home from town. You go up this hill. And like the camera doesn't do it justice.
Man, that's an incline. That looks like freaking San Francisco or something.
It is. This is exactly what it's like. This is the first one, the first level. Actually, I'll turn the aircon off because the Jeep don't like coming up here with the aircon on.
Oh, that's a neat looking house. That one, I like those.
Yeah, these are all over 100-year-old,
Yeah.
And then this is the second incline.
You just need a skateboard.
Yeah. Yeah. One of those electric
I would kill myself on that.
All right. And then we turn here.
Road hamburger.
See that big square?
Yeah, that's you, right? No, that's the house in front of you. Oh, we lose you? I think that's the house in front of
Wi-Fi.
him. Was
Change
that the house
Wi-Fi.
in front of you?
Yeah, on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at those freaking Dr. Seuss plants. I think you should cut some of them off and go try to snort them.
Oh man, they're slimy.
Those are Dr. Seuss plants. Those aren't real.
They are agapanthus.
Agapanders? What?
Panther. Agapanther. Like think of the black cat.
Agapantha.
Yeah, agapanthus, and then you put an S on the end.
Do they have a nice smell?
Not really. They flower white and purple, and they're coming to the end of the flowering season because I haven't watered them. And yeah, the wife wants to rip all them out and put them in the backyard.
So you take care of those plants right there.
I don't do a thing.
That house right behind those plants, that's your house? Or is that somebody in front of your house?
That's my place.
Oh, okay.
That's the front yard.
Oh, that's right. When you're in the back, you're in your studio.
Yeah.
That's why I'm getting confused. Yeah. All right. I got you.
All right.
I have a studio as well. It's called my barn.
This is my convertible.
Yeah.
My little red convertible that I gave to the daughter. But
well, it looks like a hard top. It's a hard top convertible.
Yeah. You press the button, and
oh,
you look
cool.
like you're Magnum PI driving around the island. Or you pretend you are. You think you are.
I've had a couple convertibles.
I like they're not popular here because of the weather.
Yeah.
But this time of year is awesome.
Yeah. I always like that, riding around with a top down. Rachel wants to know if you want to adopt her.
Well, you know what? I bought all my daughters. I got 3 daughters. I bought them all cars. Once you buy the first one a car, the second one gets their license and says, "What sort of car are you going to buy me, Dad?"
Yeah.
And then the third one is already planning what she wanted, and the third one was smart. She got her car and then sold it straight away. And then I couldn't begrudge her that. She just put the money elsewhere, then bought a cheaper car, and then said, "Thanks, Dad."
Wow. All us kids had the cheapest car possible when we got our first car.
Man, I'm driving a what's this model? 2012 Jeep. So it's not like I'm driving a fancy schmancy, but it's it does the job. And I got this car back in 2020 when I come home from America. When I was over there, I said to the wife, if we run out of income because I was traveling for months, I was only getting paid tips plus gig money, which wasn't a lot. And I said, if we run out of money, because I saved up a lot before I left, you can sell the car. Here's a person who wants to buy it, but don't sell it unless we run out of money.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I flew out, she was on the phone to him. Hey, that car's for sale. Because she hated that car I had. It was a truck. And when I come home, I said, where's the truck? And she said, no, I sold it. I ran out of money. And then when I asked him, I thought fair enough. But then when I spoke to him, he bought it the first week I was away.
So
then I said,
you didn't like that truck.
Yeah. But,
I like Jeep. Okay, we had a 96 Grand Cherokee.
Oh yeah,
I love that thing.
This is dusty, dirty.
I had a new motor put in it and everything, and man, that thing was going to last me the rest of my life. But it was one of the vehicles that burnt in the fire.
Okay.
Then we had a 2011 Toyota. It's a sensible car, and that was a great little car. And then I think a 2000 GMC 2500. It was that van. It was powerful. It was an old towing truck I bought before our move because it was a cargo van, so we used it to help move us up here.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing too. I've learned with along here there was a heap of weeds. I couldn't garden that good. It was always getting really. We get these spiky weeds that are like they hook into you and they hurt.
Yeah.
So I realized if I weed mat it and whack gravel on top,
Yeah.
the gravel gets the sun first thing in the day. That
Warms it
cooks.
up.
Oh man, that's red hot. That kills anything that's around it. But
yeah, that's a good idea.
That's probably cooking the bottom of these little palms I put in here too. But
yeah, we got a lot of those kind of little palm plants in Florida.
Well, they're illegal to plant palms in the ground. You've got to have them in pots here. Yeah, because they're not a native, or they call it an invasive, or I don't know.
Oh, invasive. Yeah, they probably spread like crazy.
Yeah, and they're not native, so they said when I bought it, you had to put it into pots, and so we're testing out a few to see if they survive.
I always like those tropical looking plants, though.
I do too, especially down here.
Yeah, you don't get that stuff here in Arkansas, but man, there's so much other stuff. It's okay.
Yeah,
I always like the tropical look. I always liked Florida. It's just, man, it's just we were feeling the urge to get out of the city, and we'd visited up here a couple times, and we just fell in love with it up here.
Yeah, it looks cool. Like when I went to Arkansas, I got a lot of photos of me in Arkansas. We went to Little Rock, and I got photos of me we went into one of these truck stops, and they had the state frame, the picture frame. You
gotta leave it running, Peter. I'm not trying to get monetized here. Sorry.
That's all right. It's Charlie.
We liked Florida okay, but we had neighbors right next door, and I hated that. I mean, most of the neighbors were okay, but some of them were jerks. Too humid, yeah. But it's humid in Arkansas too. Don't think it ain't. It gets pretty humid here.
All right. That camera doesn't like it, does it?
Oh, there you go. That looks better. Yeah, you can see it pretty good. Dang, that's more clear than out through the window. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of cloud on the horizon there, but yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah. Well, you can't see it now, but I took a photo this morning where that cloud is.
Yeah.
On the horizon is the other side of the island. You can see where it comes up, and this morning it was the sharpest and clearest you could see.
What are you doing, Cat?
Oh, sir, do you want out?
I'm sorry, Cat just climbed up on a counter.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like that brick wall back there too. No, the other one. Well, that's a fireplace, but the other one where you were showing down before you walked up there. That brick wall.
Yeah, the retaining rocks and that.
Yeah, it just looks cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of that's about over 100-year-old. I got to fix that.
Yeah. No, you ain't. It's been there 100 years. It'll be there 100 more.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's a daisy. I'm gonna turn into a bit of a nerd. Showing flowers.
So Starry was in here griping at me about how, well, how's Deborah going to be able to come home and go to sleep if you're still on the computer? And I said, well, when she comes home here, I'll get off the computer.
I remember. Sorry for
She said, I was in another chat with her. I said, is this Deborah?
I haven't been in any chats recently, but a long time ago I saw her. In
She said she was in another chat with you.
That's right.
Right. Charlie.
Oh.
Come on.
Well, you got a doggy? Oh, it's a doggy.
He picked up yesterday's carrot, which looks.
Yeah, I can see the slope of the yard now.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Oh, that backyard is crazy.
Yeah, guys. It is. Look at that.
Yeah, it has to have a retaining wall there to hold it back.
Yeah, well, there's two already. There's this one.
Yeah.
Then there's that one.
Yeah.
Then there's that one. And then there's just grass ones that go like.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't even bother mowing that. Just let it do what it's gonna do.
I do it every few months. You got to keep it down for snakes.
You need you one of them little robot lawnmowers.
Yeah, I've been looking at that. Yeah,
They're getting cheaper.
Yeah, well, actually, what I should do is become popular and then, put it out on.
Get somebody to send you one to demo.
Yeah, to test out. Oh,
yeah.
Look at this.
I don't know if you ever seen what is that one channel? There's a channel, the guy that's got the dog that he calls Minion. Nate something Petrowski. What is it called? Narrow Way Homestead. They reviewed a very inexpensive electric mower, robotic mower that it's like less than $200.
Really?
And it's a good one. And it's lightweight. So yeah, it's only like a foot wide. And it takes two little batteries that you charge up and you put in there, and it'll cut that hill.
Well, that would be interesting. I have to look into that because the ones here are like $5,000.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's like something you would get for commercial or something, but this is just something that's little. It's meant for old people, so it's lightweight, and it's got two separate batteries. And the batteries are only as big as like a wallet.
Right.
But it does the job. It just only cuts a foot at a time. But what do you care,
Yeah. Gotta eat me lunch.
That's what I would get if I had that hill, man. You're gonna end up hurting yourself on that.
Yeah.
I fell like 2 weeks ago and cracked a rib, man. That really set me back. It's still sore.
Well,
we got to be careful when we get older. I have been reminded. I can't take a deep breath anymore without a bunch of pain. And it's not gotten any better over the last week. So I don't know if it's going to get any better. This might be life now. Oh, that's a cute doggy. It looks like a Muppet.
He does. You should see him when he gets his haircut. He doesn't look like
his eyes.
Yeah, he looks like a He should be at a, I don't know, a fancy dress, not a fancy dress, a yuppies party with all their little dogs in a handbag sort of thing. When he's got all his fur missing, there's not much of
Yeah.
him.
I thought this dog was fat.
Oh, we said that last time he got out of the Poochie parlor.
Oh, Charlie is the dog?
Yeah, Charlie. We got him. Look at this. This is how hot it was today. My cake
What
melted.
is that? Oh, a cupcake.
It melted.
Yeah. Freaking 90 degrees.
It was hot.
What was it? 32, 33 Celsius?
Uh-huh. Hot for us. There you go. Have some cake.
Yeah, I like that narrow way Nate Pertowski channel. He talks in a monotone and he always says funny stuff. And he's got this little dog that does all kind of things, like carries an egg basket to go collect chicken eggs. And he's got ducks, and he's got a new livestock guardian dog. I kind of like that channel.
You know, we were talking before about the first singer of AC/DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had. Well, look, I'm actually wearing his T-shirt. I didn't realize it.
Right on.
Oh man, get with it. That way. Dave
King
Evans.
of all badasses.
Yeah, that's his logo.
I suspect I probably would have liked him better than the last one. It just reminds me of Broomhilda.
Yeah, he's got some good. Still got some good music. He's still releasing albums. He's got a brand new song called Motorway. No, Motorman. Dave Evans' Motorman is his newest one. So that's just a rock song.
Yeah, I was always more partial to Led Zeppelin and Rush.
You know, Rush were hardly ever heard of over here.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
They're from Canada, you know.
That's probably why. Yeah. Like we were into the Angels. If you haven't, there's a band called the Angels. You should see those guys back in the day. Yeah, have some more cake. There we go.
I knew of a biker gang called the Angels.
Yeah, well, that's part of that's why AC/DC left Australia, actually, because for some strange reason their management got them to help them with their security.
Wait a minute, AC/DC started in Australia? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Are they from Australia?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Bloody Americans, eh? You claim everybody for yourself.
I don't claim AC/DC, you do.
He likes his cupcake. He's probably not supposed to be eating it. But
I mean, I like their music okay and stuff. It's just not one of my favorites. That's all. One of my favorites is Led Zeppelin, Rush.
Yep.
I like dang, what's that freaking one European band? Dang it, I can't think of the name. Breakfast in America. That band that did Supertramp. Remember Supertramp?
Yeah, they're American.
No, they're not American.
Yeah.
No, Supertramp wasn't American.
Sure.
They're European something.
Well,
CCR, Creedence Clearwater. Creedence Clearwater was a little too redneck for me, even. I don't know. I don't know if redneck's even the right term. My parents used to listen to them. And I like their music okay, but it's a little too 60s for me. I'm more 70s.
John Fogerty.
Yeah. I like some of the early 70s pop and stuff too. Even the the kind of people would get mad at me at work because I'd listen to like freaking raindrops keep falling on my head and that kind of crap. I don't care. It brought back memories from being a kid. So I liked it.
That was raindrops keep falling on my head. What from?
Yeah, who is that? Was that Sonny and Cher or something? I forget who that was.
Wasn't
Dr. Hook. Sylvia's mother said.
Oh yeah.
Eddie Rabbit. Yeah.
Yeah.
America. Yeah. Been through the desert on a horse with no name. Yeah. I like that old stuff.
Yeah. Well, see, my whole life is my whole music journey is to show independent
Journey was a
music.
good
Like,
band.
well, yeah. But my ethos really with radio is to show people new music that they've never heard of and they're never going to hear of unless somebody shows it to them. So that's my
I
whole
even had
endeavor.
I hate to admit it, I even had a Yanni phase. I used to listen to that with the kids on long trips and put them to sleep.
Yeah.
It's better than listening to kid music. Green peas roll really well downhill.
Oh man, was
The wheels of the bus go round and round.
Well, mate, I might jump off here and go inside and speak to the better half.
Right on.
And it's been a good drive home. I'm glad that sort of worked out most of the way.
Hey man, I appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, we'll just do. Hey, when you catch me and you feel up to it, man, I appreciate you popping in.
Yeah, we'll do it again, Fish. All right, mate. Always good.
Take care, brother.
Yeah, as you say, peace out.
Peace.
Yeah, that's it. See you, mate.
That guy's just good for my nerves. His voice is so soothing. Yeah, what a cool dude. All right, I'm gonna hop out of here too, I guess. Deborah's back in and she doesn't want to hear me talking on this thing. I don't blame her. Thanks for being here, everyone. Have a good night. God bless. Take care. Good voodoo to you.